how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. They want a one-world government controlled by them. Everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip.
One, two. What is going on with that camera?
Fuzzy.
Welcome back, Andy PG.
How's it going?
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above.
Can we refocus this camera, please? Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday night.
Mate, what is going on with that?
Oh, we'll just switch to this camera. That'll be fine.
There we go. Peasant cam.
Yeah, it'll refocus in a minute. I don't know what's going on with that camera. It's seeming to have problems. So, we've got 78 people tuned in. Big shout out to Clara, Olivia, Lord Doobsworth, Elizabeth Clayton, Sam Carno, James Dinsdale, Simon Baker, all the usuals, King 0007. This is Rise Above and it's Friday night. Welcome back, everyone. Let me see if we can get this camera sorted out. Can you flash the light on over there? The big light? No. It's absolutely bamboozled. There you go. Boom. Straight back in. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so guys, welcome back. It is customer services. So tonight, that means we get a lot more interactive. The phone lines will be open. The Skype line is open. Andy PG is our operator tonight. Obviously, I'm the manager here at the customer services department. Let's share the screen so everyone knows.
Anything, guys. You can call in about anything. You can complain about the COVID union. Hell, you can complain about us. You can tell us raw treat was shit. You can say none of us can mix. All of it.
Yeah, we're open for all levels of criticism, constructive or not, complaints. If you just want to call in and drop some bombs, tell us about something that we might have missed on the show. If you want to ask us a question, this is what tonight is for. It's about getting interactive and getting a chance to interact with you guys a little bit more. So it's myself and Andy PG. Oma Beats is on the way. This is the peasant cam. That looks rather nice.
There we go.
Okay, here's a good one tonight.
Am I a bit loud? I think that's a bit loud.
Maybe you're a bit loud. Everyone that calls in tonight...
Gobbing off on the mic.
Everyone that calls in tonight gets a pack of Christmas cards. And
Those blasphemous Christmas cards.
Yeah, the blasphemous Christmas cards. I'll be showing those in a minute. Let me just get the screens correct, how I like them. Yeah, something like that. That's nice. How about we have one more screen?
So, as you're just sorting out, Lance, I just need to say apologies to my man David Saunders, long-time viewer of the show. Loads of people in the chat, they all met David Rattery.
Yeah.
He asked me a few weeks ago if I could ask on the show if anyone could get in contact with the show or directly to him that knows anything or personally does it about removing smart meters from houses. Okay, so if anyone out there in the chat knows anything about that or wants to get involved, then hit us an email into the show, or you can message Dave Saunders direct if you're already mates with him. So that's that.
I actually have a slide coming up later about smart meters. Funnily enough, you
I saw that.
Jumped ahead of my
social media, yeah.
Classic. So I'm just linking up my phone to make sure that if anyone calls us.
Also, guys, I'm back on Instagram now after the COVID union took me down. So if you want to add me, I'm Mr. Shreddy with 3 Ds. There's all sorts on there. Bit of magic mushroom foraging, fun with chainsaws, dangling around trees, snowboarding. It's all on there.
So is it Mr. Shreddy?
Mr. Shreddy with 3 Ds, if you want to add me up.
3 Ds. Okay. So yeah, catch Andy PG on Instagram. Okay, so
there's obviously some Rise Above stuff on there as well.
Obviously, standard. So last week, amazing work from Sheep Farm.
Yeah, sorry I wasn't here last week to all the viewers.
No worries.
No.
Obviously, I had the help of Dom and Chris to model through. But yeah, I mean, they did the work for me. To be honest, it was a brilliant presentation. Going like deep into Al Gore, the man, the myth, the legend, the massive lies that he told that didn't come true, and how he was like really instrumental in building the internet. And so he really is like the Al Gore rhythm that we talk about. So if you didn't catch last week, obviously you can go back and see that whenever you like. It is up and there for your enjoyment. We are going to have a break next week, but after next week on the, let me get this right, the 9th of December, we return Friday, 9th of December with Jason Brashears from Archaics. Really, really excited
Nice.
to have this absolute leviathan of a man come in on the show. Yeah, he is. Like, what did I say before? The final boss at the end of the rabbit hole. The simulacrum was formed. Absolutely love Jason. Can't wait to have a chat with him. So yeah, we're really, really looking forward to that.
As usual, guys, I'll be monitoring the emails. If you buy some merch during the show, obviously get your Christmas cards, but I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, so if you want to get hold of us, it's riseabovelivestream@gmail.com.
Mate, we got some cool fucking merch at the moment.
With some really cool merch, and there's new merch out which I'll be talking about in a minute. And then the week after that, which I believe is like what, the 16th of December, Friday the 16th of December, Seek 101, who we only had on the show quite short term. He was on maybe an hour, something like that. We didn't have long. We didn't have long to
He's a
chat
cool
with him.
dude, man.
Really cool. He's obviously a Sikh, and he was telling us about his previous experiences with the Freemasons, which really caught everyone's attention. Everyone was like, "Whoa!" He was a Freemason, so I know he doesn't really want to talk about that, but everyone wants him to talk about that. So we are going to have to talk about that a bit. But he's also,
or maybe we can do a little recap, and you know,
There is
if
gonna
he
be a
wants
recap.
if he wants to add anything to everything, but
I can't have him back on and not satisfy what everyone's been
no,
wanting
of course,
to hear.
of course.
But he does also want to talk about his faith, how it's sort of relevant to what's going on right now. So we're really looking forward to that. Brilliant stuff. So there's plenty on the horizon. I also must just say that we obviously are in partnership still with Roots Brands. And I've had...
You got any roots over there?
Yeah,
for us?
yeah.
Chuck us a double drop.
Yeah, turn on the peasant cam.
Yeah, there we go. Let's get the peasant cam on.
So yeah, right. This Zero In product, we do rave about it because it is literally the tits. Zero In by Roots. These capsules, they're filled essentially with like berries and these like health food shit. And
Basically all the shit that Inspector Veg sells.
Yeah. This is like an concentrated Inspector Veg tablet, right? When you take this, it makes your brain produce endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin at absolute premium levels. So without feeling rushy or buzzy or anything like that, it just makes you more optimum. Here you go, Andy PG.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, I'll bust one as well. Yeah, we just call that the wobbly cam, yeah?
The peasant cam. Okay.
Loads of people are buying this product and enjoying it because they're emailing me and telling me about it.
Mate, it's good.
And it's good. And when you buy it and you put Rise Above as the reference code, or you just use the link which is in the description, we get a 15% kickback, which means we basically get a free supply of this, and it keeps us going. And that's how we keep achieving all of this Abo-Rizzy and magic, which you see before your eyes.
Big up Sheep Farm. I'll see you in the chat, Dom.
Big up Sheep Farm. Big shout out to Dom and Chris. Okay, so I don't need all of these cameras. So yeah, click on the link. It's not just these tablets. They also have Clean Slate, which is like a detox serum, which is very good.
Mate, they do loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff on their website.
Then they have like a retox serum, which is like for you to take after you detox with like super concentrated nutrients. It's called nutraceuticals. So it's not pharmaceuticals. These are not drugs. These are not narcotics or drugs
it's
anyway.
basically combinations of nutritional, beneficial nutrition.
It's highly concentrated, hard to get nutrients, which would be very expensive if you bought them separately. I mean, these pills aren't cheap. I'm not going to lie. I think they're £1.30 a capsule. That's what they work out. $90 a packet.
Thank you, Simon. He has emailed in about removal of smart meters. That was quick.
Oh, brilliant.
Nice.
Okay. Maybe we could get that link in the comments.
Keep chatting, Lance, and I'll...
Yeah, sure. Okay. So that's one of our sponsors, Zero In, and Roots Brands. Click the link in the description. Also, I know I go about this every week, but we've got like almost 7,000 people subscribed to this channel. Only 1.7 thousand subscribed to our second channel. Again, the link is in the description. And in the second channel, you get all of the edited Rise Above material, right, guys? And, if you want to show something, one of the things we've talked about, one of the topics, one of the agendas, this is the best stuff to share because it's actually cut down for your bite-sized enjoyment. And it's better than sharing a link that's like 3 or 4 hours from a podcast. This is much more palatable. Big shout to Mark Bayersky in the comments. Oh, look at that! We've got loads of our affiliates and friends watching in tonight.
We've got 139 people tuning in.
I will also send a shout to the Armist Inquisition podcast. We see you guys watching. We will be speaking to you guys in the new year. But don't forget, subscribe to our secondary channel. Okay, merch. There is new merch out. Kids hoodies are now available. www. All the W's. riseabove.tv. Just in time for Christmas, the kids hoodies are out. There's a couple of different designs. We've got Rise Above original logo, Full Metal Rabbit, and we've got zip fronts and pullover hoodies. They're available now. I've kept them reasonable. I think
we should do a kids hoodie with Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, right. That'd be a great
Jimmy.
seller. So not only I know people are having a go at us. Oh, you're just selling loads of merch. But
we are.
Yeah, we are selling merch. That's right. Rise Above will always be free, but we sell merch. This is how we keep going. But we do give some merch away as well. And as you know, we've been doing a competition, right? So if you
I can't believe people complain about this. Like that's how we put Ratri on.
Yeah, without merch, we wouldn't be able to do all the things that we're doing. So here is one of the new designs, and here is the winner. It's Johnny Fogg. He has been posting pictures of himself wearing merchandise, supporting us since day dot. Always wearing the merch. You have won yourself one of these Rise Above, As Above, So Below. This is the new design. We have blue and white or black and mango. So Johnny, I'm sure you're watching. Send me an email. Tell me what size you want. I think I know your size anyway because you buy so much. But yeah, let me know.
Mate, the sweater jumper you gave me last time I was on the Pirate
It's
Radio
nice,
show,
yeah.
mate, that's written of that design, grey and black. Really cool.
As Above, So Below. What am I popping tonight? This is, the Rise Above TV t-shirt in black.
I'm in the new red one.
Yeah. Digital Sunsplash. Yeah, loads of new stuff.
Oh shit! Shout out to the Nowhere Brothers as well. Baz, mate. Oh, sorry, I haven't got back to your message. I did hear it, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, so kids hoodies are available, and we've got the hoodie dress for the ladies as well.
We're selling quite a few of them as well, aren't there? People
been very popular. The new Soviet Union design.
Look at that Christmas red, guys. Yeah,
this is the
red.
pro Soviet Union design. It's not reject the union. This is like we've embraced the Soviet Union.
So this is what you buy your stab jabbed friends and family.
Yeah. Basically, you buy this for a normie for a Christmas present. So and they said, "What do you mean? That's actually a very nice jumper. Thank you for the gift, but what does it mean?" It's like, well, you've joined the Soviet Union. You're triple jabs. There you go. Merry Christmas,
mate. Somebody I know, a good friend of mine, has had 5 now.
Wow.
And
are they looking for a medal of honor?
No, she's in her mid-30s and she's had like health issues in the past, and she just got sucked right at the start. Her doctor said, "You need to get these injections," and she got it like fast track straight to the front of the queue. And she's had 5 of them now. Fucking 5. All different, like all the different flavors, Moderna, Pfizer.
Oh, she said mix and match.
Yeah, mix and match, mate. All of it,
mate. That's some brave shit.
That's some fucking retarded shit.
Do you remember the story about the guy who lied about his, and so he could keep going and getting more boosters because he was so scared of COVID? It was in the Daily Mirror. They reckon he had 10 boosters in the space of a week. Because he kept just like,
that is an addict, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he obviously, well, as far as we know, he survived. And I'm thinking, wow, if you can survive like 10 boosters in 1 week,
it's hardcore.
Yeah, I mean,
should we talk about died suddenly?
I've got that in a slide. Yeah.
Just as we were on the old stabby jabs.
No, it's all right. All of this week's talking points that need to be covered are in my slideshow. Don't worry. But I will remind you guys, the phone lines are already open. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us on Skype, riseabovelivestream@gmail.com. If you want to call me up on the phone, send us an email or a Facebook message and I'll send you my phone number and you can call us up. But yeah, we want to hear from you. What is your general thoughts and the flavour du jour in the Soviet Union, in the creator realm at the moment? We want to hear some stories. You know, we've got people listening from all over the crater. So yeah, let us know.
Tell you who we haven't heard from in a while was Helen the Phoenix over in Australia.
Are we not?
No, I think she normally tunes in like about an hour into the show. So Helena, if you're watching or give us a call. Let us know what's going on. I think she's in Victoria.
I just thought that is not connected to the internet. So you need to get the new password, which is just above the toaster. We've got a new router down there in case you didn't notice. Yeah. Otherwise, we won't be able to get any Skype calls. That would, if I didn't notice that, we've got no calls tonight. I wonder why. Yeah, the Skype screen is not connected to the internet. Have you found the password, Andy PG?
Negative.
It should be just by the keys. There were some stickers there.
Not there, mate. Oh, by the key. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, you got it.
You did say by the toaster.
Above the toaster. Oh no,
It's on the complete other side.
Oh
of the
yeah,
fucking
sorry,
wall,
we
man.
moved the toaster. We moved the toaster. So yeah, so Johnny has won a t-shirt. Johnny Fogg, let me know which colour you would like. Send me an email. Congratulations. Keep posting pictures, tagging us, putting the website address with your merch. That is how you enter the competition. It's an ongoing competition. It never ends. We give away some merch every single week. So congratulations to Johnny Fogg. Yeah, it's that one, yeah. And just to let you know and to remind you, anyone that calls in tonight gets a free pack of Rise Above Christmas cards. Let me just show them here. Here we are. There's 3 different designs. There's the Raretivity scene, this one here. Holidays Ra Coming, which is actually designed by Johnny Fogg. This on the left is done by Rise and Shine. And then the third design is a Christmas barrel, like bar, as in sheep farm. I don't know, is it like a Dickensian Christmas? That's that one. But you get one of each.
What's he pouring over Master D? What is that?
Sheep dip.
Yeah, what is sheep dip?
You'd have to ask Russ Kieran. This is his creation. Big shout to Clara, Boom Shanker Lady, Rachel McCaskill, Cheech McDuck, Dougie Gemmell. Who else have we got here? Oh, shout to Richard Ryder, Lost Dice. They played at Raw Treat. Hello there, how you doing? What's he saying here? If he can survive 10 boosters in 1 week, do you think he could handle Raw Treat? Mate, it'd be like a walking bioweapons factory. I wouldn't let him in Raw Treat.
Yeah, we're on.
We're on.
Yeah,
Oh, right, we've got a call straight away.
Straight in.
Let's put that up.
Good evening, you're live on Rise Above, Brian.
Hey, Andy, how are you?
How's it going, brother? Please don't say the C word or the V word.
Yeah, I'm well versed, man. I'm well versed.
But you can say fuck.
Fucking buggers, yeah.
Yeah, mate, where are you calling in from?
I'm from Australia, down in the southern corner of the crater realm.
Nice. Southern sector.
Southern sector of the crater realm. How are things going down there at the moment?
Well, it's a state of, I don't even know how to describe it, honestly. It's surreal, really. Back to normal in the normosphere.
Right.
You guys are probably experiencing that up there in the UK. It's sort of
pretty normal.
I think it's been, it's sort of been 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. You know, they go hard for their agenda, 2 steps forward, and then they.
Mate, is someone murdering a mouse in the background? It sounds like someone's killing a rodent.
I'm in a rural part of Victoria, so I really do apologise.
That's some funky wildlife, man.
Is that your dog?
I'm just sitting out having a cuppa.
No, that's like
it's
some
Saturday
bird or
morning
something.
here.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, so that's what we call a wattle bird.
Oh, right.
So that's just the ambient wildlife of whatever you're picking up there. That's the ambient wildlife in our backyard.
I like it, mate. It's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, we've got mates down in the UK, they're in Wales. Sometimes they, when they do call through, they think we're listening to some meditation music, but it's just the bird life in the backyard. So, sorry about that.
That's right.
No, don't be sorry, mate. It's cool.
The original organic meditation music.
It's nice to wake up to that. Obviously, it's the morning for you guys over there, yeah?
Yeah, so it's sort of hitting 20 past 8 in the morning. Saturday morning.
So Bran, In regards to what you were just saying, like they push their agenda hard and then they ease off the gas a little bit. Do you think over there that you guys are going to have a relatively normal spring and summer as you're coming into that period now? Or do you think they're going to start slamming on the accelerator on it again?
That's actually a good question, and I'm away from screens, so I don't have issues there. But in the chat room, I guess, what do people think in general? Do they think that it's all sort of eased back off, or do they think 2023 on its near horizon they're going to crank it up again? Personally, I think they'll crank it up again.
What what I'm saying is, obviously, we're coming into our winter over here, so they've got more reason to crank it up. You guys are coming into your spring and summer, where there's not so much flu and all that kind of stuff. So do you think they're going to let you guys off and have because we've had a relatively normal summer, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely normal, yeah. I mean,
and as well, I'm planning to go and snowboarding this January, and like our holiday's booked. It's somewhere in France, Le Plan. If anyone's out there and wants to hit me up, I'll be over there end of January. But you don't apparently need to get into France now. You don't need any jab or the digital passport, nothing.
Yeah, so I guess there's a number of aspects with the question, Andy. I'm not trying to sort of be elusive. One, I think, so we're going into spring, summer, but in terms of the flu and the people's pandemic, what does that look like? I don't know. Maybe coming towards Christmas, we may have more scariants. Don't know. There's certainly people speculating that. If I was to offer an opinion, I'd only be speculating as well. But in terms of what you're saying, like this is we're in a war, and it's not just on one front. And what we've been experiencing here in Australia and my neck of the woods, which is the state of Victoria, we've been smashed by weather warfare. Absolutely smashed by weather warfare. And I know, Lance, you with your marine background, you you understand weather patterns and that sort of stuff. Now, we've been getting wet weather from the northwest, and for us in Victoria, that's off the desert. So, apparently now in the crater realm, wet weather events form over deserts and migrate down into this part of the world. So our weather patterns have been absolutely bizarre. Little town that I'm in, we've been close to flooding. Creeks, we're on a fairly major creek line, and it's come up about 4 times. In that time, 2 times really threatened to actually burst banks and flood. We've been lucky it's been contained, but other parts of the state, just been smashed. And towns that have sort of been pretty heavily inundated with floodwaters. Same in New South Wales. You guys heard that earlier. Earlier in the year with New South Wales and southern Queensland getting absolutely smashed. And it seems, Andy, it's strange, really strange, because it seems to be following the cropping season down here. So we're right in the midst of cereal cropping. Where I live is quite extensive acreage of cereal and legume cropping, so lentils, fava beans, barley, wheat, that sort of stuff. So in that way, Andy, just looking at the local and communicating with the local farming community here, the fava bean crop, it's a Middle Eastern bean we mostly export. It's a bit like a broad bean. That's largely failed.
Oh shit!
Tens of thousands, Lance. Tens of thousands of acres that have just probably not really worth putting the header or the harvesters in. Again, not to give false information, we're probably on the border with a lot of our cereal crops here in this area, where if we can get some of that strange phenomena called sunshine, they may actually ripen and get a good crop off the actual cereal crops. But if we get another rain in the next week or 2, quite likely they'll mould, if not rot. So it's sort of on, we're really on that border line. So Andy poses a really good question there. Do we sort of see it coming from, with the people's pandemic again? But it's a death by 1,000 cuts that we're fighting, and it's not just on one front. So that's the part that I think we need to be really cognizant of, that, where else are they attacking us from? and it's the Food Network. And you guys have alluded to that along the way with
Yeah.
some of the issues that the states have had with being planes mysteriously crashing into factories.
Well, that's the primary way to control the population is if they can control the energy and if they can control the food supply. That's it. They've got everyone by the fucking balls.
100%, Andy. And look, I talked, try to communicate to people on that, but really it comes down to what is currency, and true currency is food, water, shelter, love.
That's it.
So, and if they can control those 4 key ingredients, those 4 key currency factors, then they control humanity. So that's sort of where we're at. So, yeah, I guess anybody in the chat too, where do you think this is going? Do you think we're going to double down with more scarings? Do you think the scandemics are over? Do we think that they're just going to ramp it up and go another 2 steps forward in a different front or battlefront of the war?
Do you think they're done now currently with the needle agenda? Are they now moving on to the food chain, global climate warming change? That's what Dom called it last week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
climate warming change.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, big thanks to the sheep farm. That was a fantastic put together there with the rhythms of owl. Pretty much telling us all what we kind of already suspected, and you guys have been down that rabbit hole for sure. So big it up, like you guys say, for sheep farm. Andy, yeah, good question. I think it's going to come. The 4 riders of the apocalypse, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's when they converge. And yes, there's variants. Yes, they may come at us again with more needlecraft, but I think the needlecraft is already injected. And it's what does that look like over time? Are we going to see further increases of mortality? I'm sort of being cautious of how I word things here too, just so we don't.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that.
Don't get the rhythms of owl come down on us. Yeah. Look, it's a big question, isn't it? Like, where does it go to from here? And
because we all know it's all Schwab together in one, but obviously they're playing one card at a time, primarily, aren't they? Like 2020 to 2022 really was the needlecraft agenda. And now, like you say, if they're manipulating weather to smash all the crops and focusing on the food chain thing, then not only have they got... I mean, my parents' next door neighbour, he's died recently, and he had a urine infection, and they rushed him to hospital, and he had to stay for nearly 48 hours in a corridor on like a stretcher, like trolley thing, because there was no rings.
So much coinciditis going on.
Yeah, so much coinciditis. All the hospitals are full over here. I don't know what it's like over your neck of the woods.
Very similar stories that we're getting. I mean, I'm not, directly involved in that, so it's information that that I get hold of. So I can only go on what I get hold of. But yeah, it's it appears that hospitals are really struggling to keep up with it. We've got a huge lack of labour in this country. So labour shortages. You're seeing the same in the States. The stuff there that I sort of get hold of and information and people you listen to, it seems that they're in the same sort of boat. So is that because people are falling over because of the needlecraft and no longer able to work? Possibly. We're also in a situation where a lot of our labour in this country has been imported with, temporary work visas and stuff. And that's people, from less, I put this in italics, but less developed nations are avoiding Australia, as you'd imagine, with all our lockdowns, our border closures.
Yeah. Very similar thing has happened here, and it's been blamed on Brexit, whereas a lot of EU workers are sort of like, well, I don't want to go to the UK because I don't know. They had very bad experiences in 2020 and 2021 where they basically couldn't work. So maybe they've gone back home, and we were relying on those workers.
Mate, the hospitality sector is fucked here in the UK because literally a third of the hospitality sector is just gone.
Yeah. So another industry that really relies on this as well is universities here in Australia, and so we import a lot of students, and that pays a lot of the bill. And then obviously like you're saying there, the hospitality side of it, Andy, where people are coming over to get a degree in Australia, from whatever country they're coming from, and find part-time work in the hospitality sector. So it's sort of knock-on effects on knock-on effects. And Lance, like you're sort of saying, it's it's Brexit. Obviously here it's whatever, but it's everything but what it actually is.
Sure.
It's look
Mate,
over there,
they've
look over
crafted this really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
This has been done really cleverly,
Layers and layers of narrative have been laid like years before,
which all Schwabs together at the end.
Yeah, but it coats everything that's going on, because there's sort of like an official narrative for everything. Oh, this is Brexit, this is Putin, this is the Ukraine doing this. Like there's a slide I'm going to show later on where it's got a 33 in it as well, but it's something ridiculous. Like we've got to survive through these higher fuel prices to defeat Putin.
Oh, it's just it's insane. It's insane, Lance, and it's sort of like you just see it in the normosphere. Ukraine good, Putin bad. And you just like, oh God, we're at this point here in Victoria, so Gulag, Victoria, where this weekend we're having our state selections, previously known as an election. I'm not confident that Dan Andrews, who's you guys are probably familiar with all these dictatorial premier agenda over the Soviet Union. I'm not confident that he won't get voted back in by the normosphere. Even a few people yesterday I talked to, they voted early, and they're like, oh yeah, voted for Dan. And you just, my God, this is the lowest common denominator, really, and that's sort of what's dragging us down into this quagmire that we're all in. And I don't, this is another question to pose. I'm sort of digressing a little bit here, so bear with me. But it's like, and this is out to the chat room too, and what people's thoughts on this are. But, I do hear in the truth movement and some people that I listen to that I think, are respected. But, we've got to get this information out there. We've got to try and wake people up. And look, if you haven't woken up in the last 3 years, what's the probability that you will?
You're not
getting. I've already said it. Like, what more catalyst could you possibly want?
What I find over here, I can't speak for other countries, but what I find over here is like the middle class over here who lead pretty comfortable lives. They don't want to wake up. They're perfectly happy in their low vibration satanic way of thinking because they got a bit of money and either some land or a nice place to live and roof over their head. And they don't really have to struggle. They don't really want to wake up.
I would say that is very reflective, even in the local immediate community that I live in, Andy. It's probably about 4 years ago, I would have said, it's fairly progressive. It's, it votes green. They're a bit environmentally focused, which I now realise is completely wokeist. And, they've wholeheartedly gone like lambs to the slaughter. And not only that, my wife was really concerned early on when they started rolling the injectables out. She sort of thought, and we had people we've known for a long time here go NPC on us and roll their sleeves up. And
just lapping up the Soviet Union.
Yeah, like your 10 stabby jab, mate, you mentioned before. And you just, my wife was like, well, surely they'll say no when it comes to the children, And many of these people that we've known for a long time, they just took their kids, didn't even question it, took their kids to the slaughter as well. And you just, OMG,
The thing is with taking the kids there to do that, that's then going to be the norm for the kids. And then when they grow up, they're going to keep doing the same thing to their children because it's been ingrained into them that you have to do this. And
here's the other sicker thing: if those kids are born with congenital diseases and inherent malfunctions within them because of that gene therapy, then you're also going to have a whole new generation of people that grow up with defects that are the norm. So you're actually sort of lowering the threshold of what healthy is.
And don't forget, this goes into the genes of the generation. Then they pass that down. So they're
Yeah,
literally
fine.
manipulating genes in more than one way.
Yeah, my question there, though, Andy, and this is sort of, again, I can only go on what I've sort of tried to glean out of the truth movement, out of, medical personnel that actually are, trying to speak out. And it just really appears that infertility is a huge factor within the younger injected. And which I think, again, this is that question. You asked me before, Andy, and it's, do you think they're going to roll out more injectables? Do they need to? And this is sort of that question. At some point, do they just flick the switch on the pento chisel, like you guys call it, and suddenly you have whole scale malfunction, and bleeding of the eyes and orifices, and it sounds a bit doom and gloom, but we have to face this sort of stuff. What does it look like to those that have been injected? Can they actually breed, Andy?
Can I ask how old are you?
I am 45.
So you're 45. I mean, you're like, I'll say middle-aged or whatever. Do they even care about us anymore, the unjab? Because
we've already sort of said that they probably don't.
No, because they're just like, just fucking leave us. Once we're dead, like they'll, the next generation, if they have stabbed enough people to do, what they need to do.
If our worst fears come to fruition, that what we think has been injected has been injected, and then by default that could be spread throughout the genome by breeding.
Yes.
Then you only need to plant. You don't need to do it to everyone. These people, in inverted commas, we know that they play a long game, which is much. We know it's transgenerational, but it's much longer than that.
Yeah, each generation does their little bit, their little piece of the puzzle, and that's it.
Yeah, there was studies. I'm sort of unable to pull the name of the study and that together. And anybody out there, correct me if I'm wrong, or confirm it if I'm on the right track. But there were studies done with this where had injectables into rats, and they were able to breed. First generation was able to, parent to parent was able to breed. And it was the second and third generations.
That's right. I know what you're
fertile.
talking about. Yeah.
We showed something with pigs as well. It was actually someone from Australia who was linked to pig farming sent me an article about this. I don't know why they were doing it, whether it was an intentional thing or if it was a side effect. But yeah, they injected this vaccine into pigs.
Whoa! You watched that V word, my man.
Sorry.
You put 10 crypto shekels into the swab box.
Sorry, I'm rusty, guys. They Britneyed these pigs. And basically, I think it was actually on the second or third generation afterwards that they became totally infertile.
And couldn't breed.
Yeah, couldn't breed at all.
Yeah. So, I don't think... So, Andy, when you ask that question, it's a question that's got to be posed, and I'm not trying to be elusive, but it's what is the answer? I think at the moment we can only speculate, but I think that's with all of the information that we're... In our community, I guess, that we've really tried to glean and pull together. I think all of these things are on the table, like you guys call it. The whole rabbit's on the table, and all of these things could be options.
I've always wondered, right? I've always wondered when the actual end. What date is it when the end game that their little plan, their end game is actually going to come to fruition? Like I said, it probably won't be in our generation. Like it won't be in our lifetime. I've always wondered, how much control is enough for them. How much is enough?
Do you want me to go whole rabbit?
Yeah. Let's get it out.
If we take the premise that Jason Brashears, our next guest, is correct, and there is going to be an event in 2040 called the Phoenix event that has been written into this code, right? That happens every 138 years, and the elites know about it, and this is to do with resets. If this is the event where they have to go underground for, because we know about the subterranean, that's no myth. The billions and trillions have been spent on these subterranean layers, right? Well, if that's the event that they go underground for, and there are some of us that are alive, well, imagine when they come back up and they resurface, it would be much easier if we are under control of AI. If they left AI in control of us while they go underground.
Yes.
So if we're building towards an event where they basically, if the Earth like flips magnetic poles, the axis, or
Check
whatever,
out John Levi's work on all this, guys. He's on
whatever
YouTube.
you think is going to happen, if that happens, for one, they would instantly lose power because all their energy grid would be off kilter, and for two, no one's in control when the sky falls down.
No.
Well, if we were put in some kind of state where we were basically completely NPC'd and in control, and there was an AI looking after us, that AI could look after us in infinitum until they were ready to resurface when things have come.
However long that may be.
Yeah, if we're talking about reset theory.
I think it's on the table. In terms of that, I certainly prescribe to the fact that I think the elites are working towards something that is on the horizon. I've thought this for a long time. I think they're running scared.
Yes.
And that's why they've pulled this botched COVIDian cult. And I do largely think it's botched. There's information, even in that regards, there's information that's sort of surfaced recently. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. And, maybe some other Aussies out there could verify this or not. But, yeah, there's been a lot more resistance to the injectables here in Australia than we've been led to believe. And some of the largest areas demographically that have resisted, and I would have thought northern New South Wales in the sort of the alternate lifestyle areas, but has actually been here in Victoria. And some of the shires, one of the shires where a rural city, ODYSEE, resides, some of the stats that I was looking at were, down around 10% actually went and got the injectables. So that's far from what we've been led to believe. We're hitting 70%, we're hitting 75%, we're hitting 80%, we're hitting 90%. So
I think that's probably true all over the world.
I don't think we'll ever know. We'll never know the actual number.
Well, I do know that a lot of.
I mean, they're not going to know the actual number because, we know people in the injection industry who you can pay them to inject you, but not inject
falsify.
You. So yeah.
I heard
it
failed in the schools. That a lot of it got chucked away.
Yeah,
and I know that because Sage was working for him and he told me.
Well, he chucked what the teachers were like. They were just
they're getting chucked away at the distribution centre. They were never even getting sent out because it was going out of date. It was getting chucked away by the bachelor.
Right, gotcha.
I live in a location where I think it was a huge uptake. So I think it is probably percentage-wise high. It's a very conservative sort of farming community out here and probably largely just towed the line. So I do think it depends demographically where you live, all of those factors. I think there's big factors. But sort of what you were alluding to before, it is a botched. Largely, I think they've pulled the trigger early on that narrative, the injectable narrative. And I think it is because some other event is looming on the horizon that they are aware of and, us plebs are not supposed to be aware of. So I do tend to prescribe that there's a lot of possibility in Brashear's work. I am familiar with it. I have sort of gone down pretty extensively through archaics. Yeah, I do tend to think there's a very real possibility of it. No, certainly in my life, I've been a park ranger for many years. I'm no longer working in that sector, but for many reasons. But living way out on country, very, very remotely, stuff I've seen in the sky, just it beggars belief, and it certainly doesn't fit any narrative. You look up in the night sky, out in the desert, or in the Gulf of Carpentaria, where I've lived with my family remotely, and you just go, wow, this is in. It doesn't fit into any prescription of any narrative. Are you
talking about like the like mechanisms in the sky that Jason talks about?
I would have to say that's probably, now on hindsight, that's probably one possibility that could describe what I've seen in the past. Look, even dimensionally, we're just fed and programmed to believe in what we see. We're such a lineal creature. What we see is what we get, which is where I think a lot of us in this community are starting to break that mold and realise that there's so much more dimensionally and to be experienced in this realm that we're in. But like I do, which goes back, Lance, what you're sort of saying is, they are trying to plug us in and dumb us down. But I think in terms of that too, like what is coming in the future and what are the mechanisms they want to control? And I think the economy is sort of, again, digressing, but I think economy is one of the next stages that they'll really hit hard. So they've been tearing those cards down for the last 2-3 years. The first lockdown, when that happened, that was when I realised, this is all about destroying small business and local economy. I think the numerology aligns to that over 23 and 24, the coming 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's another.
Did you know the year 2021, 2022, and 2023 apparently adds up to 666?
Of course.
And also next year,
Why is that not surprised?
is the Skull and Bones year, because it's the 322 year. So it seems like for sure, like there is something about like 2020 set the scene, and then these 3 years, 1, 2, and 3, have been very instrumental in shaking the foundations, at least, of almost all of our institutions. Whether it's the credibility of the media, the fortitude of the financial system, our food supply, our energy, of everything, every single pillar that was holding up the roof of our society has been shaken in the last 3 years. Deliberately shaken by a
100%.
Samson type golem that basically looks to bring the roof down. Interesting times.
It is, Lance. It is interesting times, and I think in terms of that, I mean, it's probably about 6-7 years ago in this country. So we've got the most expensive real estate in the crater, and that's been a huge psyop on its own, which I won't go into. But we're probably about 6 to 8 years ago. That's when I started saying that they're going to have to wipe the economy clean, wipe the slate clean, and recalibrate it. And friends and family were like, no, they can't do that. Things never go down. Real estate never goes down. But we're at a point, and I said, at that point, an average suburban house is sort of looking at 600, 700, 800,000 Australian dollars. You can't have that kind of inflation and debt. Oh, no. And just recently visiting a friend in Canberra, which is our capital city. He's in a middle bracket kind of suburb, not too affluent, not the Bronx. And he said he just had his property valued, and brand, guess how much? Closing the gap on $1 million. So 1.2 million. 1.2 million for an average suburban house in our capital city. So if peeps out there think that is sustainable, and this is where I was sort of saying this years ago, that they're going to have to reset it. And how do you do that in a capacity that people don't realise they're being fleeced? Now, the whole COVIDian cult has been part of that agenda. Distract people, look at stage left, while at stage right they're deconstructing the economy. So, certainly what you're saying there, Lance, with the numerology, I think that lines up over the next 2 years as a trajectory of crashing the economy next year, and then trying to rebuild it in their image in 24, 24 being a numerical figure with 8, and 8 being a monetary sort of numerology. So there's lots of this sort of spellcraft going on. But it's easy to talk about the negatives, and I think this is the concern I have. I don't know you guys seeing it there, but even in our community, a lot of people, because it's eased off this year, they've sort of unscrewed the dials a little bit. I think a lot of people are sort of relaxed off digging in and
got a bit
preparing.
complacent.
Yeah, 100%.
Forgot they're in a war.
Yeah. And I sort of tend to, what's the right word? I don't want to sound like I'm the harbinger of bad news all the time, even in my own friendship circles. And, because I do see that this hasn't gone anywhere. And I do see that they will double down. And, it'd be interesting to what the crew in the chat room think as well. But I do think they're going to clamp the screws down again. And so it's easy to sort of look at these problems, but solutions, and it comes down to that currency factor that I mentioned before, and it's food, water, shelter, love. Now, food isn't just food that we eat, it isn't just the tucker we put in our mouth. Food is food for the soul. It's all of those sorts of things. Water is the molecule that partly makes up our body. So there's all these sorts of factors: food, water, shelter, love. So that's a big thing that we're doing. We're trying to establish a bit of what we call the Awildian project. I have rang into you guys before. So, Andy, you were asking people how to contact me, and I was at that point sort of more inclined to continue being grey. But yeah, if people do want to reach out, it's Awildian project at gmail.com. That's AWILDIAN project, all one word. We're just big on trying to food it up. Backyard farming.
Yeah. It's good that you're active over there and trying to help your community and others. Because, like you said, there's a lot of people over here that have, and in other countries as well, in the Northern Hemisphere, that have just become complacent because things have appeared to be quote unquote normal again for a fair few months, long period of time.
Yeah, we've even got people telling us over here to, don't get prepared, just spreading the fear matrix and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure. I see how that's going to go for you when things go bad, because there's going to be a point where something's going to happen. There, maybe the lights will go out, maybe the internet will turn off, maybe the all the cash points stop working. There's something coming. It might not be next year. It might be 24, 25. We don't really know. Nobody really knows. But it's not the time to sit back. It's the time to keep consolidating, keep building these networks, and keep on preparing it in a diligent way.
I'd argue these are the most important times while it is quiet in the COVID union to do that shit, to get your networks done and get stocked and get ready to go for when shit does go down.
Yeah, when you're not taking fire. When you're not taking fires, when you need to be digging in.
It's when you need to be reloading.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I guess in that regard, which even out of our backyard, which is, we've got, we tried to buy land a few years ago, acreage, but it just cost-wise, by the time you get across the line of a mortgage, the gauge of the dead, measurement of the dead, before we could even get there, you've expended all your resources. So you're in a position where you can't even work the land. So we've gone small, which has also allowed us to weather the injectables, because we didn't have a huge measurement of the dead, water gauge. But even in a we've got a relatively big yard, but even out of this backyard, like a couple of years ago when this all kicked on and we were really pumping food, it was about 70% of our table was grown out of the garden, and probably at least another 10% was from other local producers. Big farmer that does biodynamic grain.
That's brilliant.
So we're really trying to do that sort of factor. It's been a little bit hard too this year. You're sort of trying to live 1 foot in one camp and still 1 foot in the matrix. So I do work. My wife does work, unfortunately. We'd prefer to be just doing our own thing and digging in, but it's sort of hard to financially just juggle on its own. So time is probably our biggest resource that we lack, and I think everyone else out there probably feels the same. Like money aside, money comes and goes. It's always something you unless you're born into a silver spoon, it's something that we sort of struggle to keep treading water with. But in terms of that, it's time. Time is the most elusive resource. To have the time in the garden, to have the time building more infrastructure on the property to weather what's coming. It's
Sure.
where it'd be great to be able to have like-minded people to work with and that are motivated. That don't sit on their laurels and just say yeah it's coming and actually don't put the money where the mouth is, so to speak, using a term.
Yeah.
But so
that's what we've all got to do. We've got to do what we're talking about, and it sounds like you are, Brian, which is brilliant. You like you say, digging in,
Getting involved,
getting self-sufficient, and trying to be prepared as much as you can for whatever's it's going to throw at us, and that's that's all we can really do.
So a question there, like you're saying, though, Lance, is whatever gets thrown at us, and please, you guys, you call this when you want to call this, but whatever comes at us. So, and this is where I'm sort of looking at it too. I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but it's almost predictable. It's like the start of this year, the COVIDian narrative was waning. So I stand with Ukraine. This virtual war comes in, and it's like you can see this stuff as clear as the nose on your face. It's like, wow, here's another bit of predictive programming. Here's another distraction tactic, and so. I saw years ago, like I said, with the economy, I saw that they were going to do something. I do admit I didn't quite see with the way they've rolled this out. And Andy, you guys both sort of mentioned early on in our chat, you got to take your hat off to these guys, like the elites. They've certainly planned this well. And I
respect the opponent, mate. I respect what they've done and they've got the balls to do it. Because I tell you what, if people did really if there was a large percentage of people who knew what was going on, like people like Bill Gates to be dragged out from his fucking his lair and shit like that, all these people, horse-faced Jacinda, who's in charge of your neck of the woods, she'd be absolutely slated, pitchfork style.
Yeah, it's funny you call her horse face. My younger brother and I call her the stallion.
The stallion, nice. Yeah, the stallion.
The gender's probably not quite as confirmed as we're led to believe.
Yeah,
it looks like there's at times there's a bit of block and tackle swinging around there in the
is there? Oh, interesting.
It's definitely questionable.
Like Big Mickey.
Yeah, it's definitely questionable. Yeah. So Obama's, misses. Yeah. So look, who knows? Yeah. So we call it the stallion. Where does it go? Where does it go to from here? That's the big question. And I guess, again, put it out to the chat. What do people think? What do people think that is, how does this sort of play out? They certainly haven't done what they've done over the last 3 years now, but certainly the first 2 years of this idiocy, they haven't put that much effort into it to then ease off and go, you will let the peasants have some normality for, a while.
It's a typical cult. It's a typical cult technique. Is going full steam ahead, then backing off a bit, full steam ahead, backing off, full steam ahead, backing off. It's a cult manipulation technique.
Yeah.
So psychological warfare.
Yeah. We certainly haven't seen.
But this is, don't forget, this is on a mass scale. Like normal, fairly small scale. It sounds cracking over there, mate.
It's really going off.
I'm sitting out in our garden. We've got a beautiful little table here under what we call a bottle brush. It's a native species in full flower, but I've got the chicken pen next door. So one of the girls is just letting us know that she's laid an egg.
Oh right, there's your breakfast ready.
So,
nice.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
Well, Brian, it's been brilliant to hear from you, mate. But I think we're gonna open up the phone lines again because some people have had enough of hearing the chickens for a little bit.
It's great to chat to you though.
But mate, it sounds like you're getting down to it there, and it's really great to hear from you, mate. So thank you for checking in with us.
Yeah, just to you guys, really appreciate what you guys do and what you bring to the table in terms of that whole rabbit. It's fantastic. So yeah, big thank you.
No worries, mate. That's what we're here for. Hold it up. Take care, Bram. Right, first caller.
Mate, that was a great chat.
That's great. We did have some people go, I'm going to come back when the bird noises have stopped. Listen, Brand's in his back garden.
Sorry, Mario, mate, if you want to call in, the line's free, mate, so call in on Skype.
Yeah, Mario, when you're ready. I've got some good news. Check this out. So everyone remembers Yogi one of our viewers, long-term viewer, who was really sadly in a fire.
Yeah.
Right,
So
so
he's devastated he can come to Raw Treat.
absolutely devastated. We did a healing session with him with Mark Bayersky. So we had basically okay. So here's an update. Yogi has had a skin graft on his back recently that is taking very well. He's in some discomfort at the moment. When he heals, he'll be able to move into his new apartment, which is only 10 minutes from his partner, Eileen, has a communal living room where the residents can get together. All the residents are in a similar situation to Steve. They've all got burns, basically. So there'll be a nurse on site also. Due to the pain, he's in a lot of medication. He's very drowsy. He's not able to use social media at the moment. He has got a phone, which he'll be able to use in the future. Due to the fact he's lost his entire wardrobe, we decided to get some clothes, ordered all the bottoms half yesterday, and me and Lance are sorting the top half of clothes. I think we raised about 230 quid.
Awesome.
So I did a load of merch at cost price, which we've been sending to him. It should be getting with him soon.
So he's going to have like the main rise above wardrobe.
Yeah, he's going to have the whole wardrobe. So basically, the doctors also wanted to say that they're baffled how he pulled through. And that's with thanks of all of us that took part in that healing, I'm sure, and Mark Bayersky as well. So a big thank you for that. And also, Jess Chaplin. Oh, where's it gone? Here. If you guys are free, as many people possibly are, please come and have a Christmas drinks meet up at the Crown in Bridport. Anyone that's in the southwest, the Crown in Bridport, once a month on a Tuesday, has an awake or sort of truthers meet up. They watch Rise Above there as well. I've been to the pub. It's actually a really lovely pub. So the Crown near Bridport, 13th of December. It's a Tuesday night. It's a big meet up. They have over 100 people go.
Nice.
And they screen Rise Above, and everyone basically lets loose and has a good old chinwag and a meet up.
That's awesome.
Second Tuesday of every month. So yeah, phone lines are open. If you want to get hold of us, have a little chat. Tell us what's going down in your area of the crater. This is Rise Above, and it is customer services, so we are getting interactive. What else is going on here? Okay, this is a good one. So, Paul George Burkhart, Bushwhacker, UK.
Yeah, he was at Raw Treat, no?
It's one of our official foragers at Rise Above. He was at Raw Treat, taking people around the forest, teaching them about the what was on the menu, growing out of the ground. He was commenting on our Christmas cards and actually did a little hashtag post, and Rise Above hashtag is coming with 333,000 posts apparently. Obviously, I'm sure that isn't just us, but yeah, the numbers are there. Bad Slave is doing 1,000 plus. Obviously, that's a unique one. No one else is using Bad Slave. Big shout to Terra and Victoria. And on the right-hand side is something that was sent to me by JD. He was in a shopping centre, I believe, and I think this is something to do actually with like massage therapy. It's the Ra gun, and by the Ra body, he just took a photo and sent that to me, and here it is. Maybe I'll get one of these and get one for the studio, see what it's like, get a Ra gun. Massive shout to Bear Parker. He fought. I need to find out if he won the fight or not. He fought in a charity boxing match, white collar boxing. We sponsored him here at Rise Above. He was also sponsored, I believe, by the Nowhere Brothers, wearing their merch there. Big shout to Bear. Yeah, if you were watching, mate, get in the live chat and let us know how you did in the fight. Did you win? Because I should have found that out before I made the little announcement. Really, that would have been better. So, Rise Above.
Rise above, generate, rise above.
Andy PG's buggered off for a minute to speak to someone. Who have we got tuned in? Norman Russell, Hogdown Munch, Rakesh, Bruce Townsley, Norman, King 0007. The Nowhere Brothers. He did win. Excellent, that's good news. Big shout out to Luke and Baz. Remember, they've got their merchandise out, and they've also got a YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to the Nowhere Brothers. That's good news. Our first ever Rise Above fighter that we sponsored.
The Bear?
Yeah, he won his fight.
Awesome. Yeah, he's been plugging our merch for a while now.
Yeah. Big shout out to Bear. Very proud of our first ever. Cool, we sponsored a boxer. What do you know about that? Remember, if you want to get hold of us, it's Rise Above live stream.
Mate, I was wearing a Rise Above t-shirt the other day at Muay Thai.
Were you?
Yeah.
representing. Yeah, riseabove-livestream@gmail.com. That is the email and the Skype. So if you want to just send us an email, ask a question, send us a meme, anything like that, send us an article, a talking point, a story. Lance, are you going to do the 16-bar challenge?
just putting that up.
Yeah, but you know what? I want to do it, but I still haven't done what I promised with JD, and then I feel really bad because I'm supposed to do the fucking Jimmy Savile verse on JD's track.
Oh yes.
And mate, I've been so busy. I've just
Speaking of Grandmaster Ginny,
you're saying we need to see some more Jimmy.
yeah, we do. We haven't had him for a while.
Need to see some more stuff in the slideshow. What's he saying there? Pink Pisces, I'm here. Hello, everyone in the chat. It's Rise Above live on a Friday night, and
Rise above, generate.
you never press that button enough.
Rise above.
We've got Homer Beats on the way, haven't we?
Yep, he is on the way. He's always late though. So sadly, there is no Master Lee tonight. And don't worry, I'm not doxing you here, Lee. But he is. He's on his way to an undisclosed location. He's actually, I think he's doing a seminar and some belt testing in combat jiu-jitsu. 8th Dan, Lee Hasdell. Obviously, I am not showing the location there. I put it out. Right, now, we were speaking about Jason Archaics, Jason Brashears, a minute ago, right? And obviously, since last week's show, yeah, it was after last week's show. No, the week before, when Spitter was here, I did a massive binge on his work, right? So...
Oh, we got cool. Here's Mario.
Oh, Mario's
Here's
calling.
Mario.
Welcome to Rise Above, Mario.
Please don't say the
Hey,
C
how's it
or
going?
the V word,
All good. Hey,
Absolutely not. No.
but you
How are
can
you
say
guys?
fuck.
Well, I know that. I've been listening for a while.
where
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you great, mate. Where are you calling from, Mario?
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Awesome.
Welcome to Rise Above.
How's it going over that area of the crater?
Probably the same as everywhere else in the English-speaking world, by the sounds of it. The same bullshit, the same restrictions, the same games.
Is it still going on over there in full effect, or have you guys eased off a bit? I don't know if you heard our last caller over in Victoria, Australia.
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing here, but they're starting to ramp up the sea scare and
For the winter season.
Absolutely, and the masks. You
Yeah.
know, they're just talking. They wanted to bring them back into the schools, but
What as like a mandate?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we have a new provincial government, and they said they weren't going to bring it in. They seem a little more on the, I guess you'd say, conservative side. Mind you, we did have a conservative government before, but we have a new leader, and she's more. A little more libertarian, I guess we could say. But again, not that I believe that the governments are going to do anything for us. As you guys probably believe, they're all controlled to one
Yeah, of
extent
course
or
they are.
another.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so.
So
other
is
than that,
your
it's-
man Trudeau taking a bit of a back seat then? Is he?
Yeah, everybody loves the guy, that's for sure. He keeps hitting him out of the park. It seems like every other week he's always in the news doing something very interesting.
I saw a video of him on social media. Someone went up to him filming on their cell phone, and they went up to him and he obviously thought they were gonna he wanted to shake his hand and say, and they just started saying, "Look, mate, you've just caused so much genocide."
Yeah, or take a selfie or something.
Yeah, and they just went at him. Look, I think they just said like one or two sentences to him, and he just literally didn't say a word, just turned around and walked off.
Mario, did you see the clip of him at I think it's COP27 where he came up face to face with Xi Jinping?
Yeah, and he got a scolding or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but like when he walked
he? I haven't
away,
seen that.
yeah, Xi Jinping. I saw it translated. Now, obviously, we don't know if it was a correct translation or not, but he basically just like told him off for disclosing the details of a private conversation, and Trudeau goes, no, we speak openly here. That's the way it's done. And Xi Jinping goes, no, that's not the way it's done. I'll deal with you another time.
Oh, so he's his bitch.
Yeah, but when he walked away, Trudeau looked like he was like waddling. It literally looked like he shit himself.
So he's a lower
Yeah, I saw
tier
that. I
than
saw
Xi
the video
Jinping.
there.
yeah. Oh mate,
He's,
yeah,
he-
definitely lower.
He's a piece of work, all right. I'm not gonna obviously say anything. It's gonna get me in trouble, but we'll just leave it at that. For Mr. Trudeau goes. But just like to say I'm glad you guys are on the air. Like I think I've been with you guys from the beginning, listening
Awesome.
this pretty well every Friday. And I love your show. You guys go 4, 5, 6 hours, and I don't know how you guys do it, to be honest.
We don't know what else to do.
Yeah, okay, you got that going for you. I guess that's fine.
I think what we do here is better than talking at protests and doing that kind of stuff. Because again, we're reaching people over in Canada, Australia.
Well, look,
all
our
over Europe.
first 2 calls is Canada and Australia, which is pretty phenomenal. What have we got?
We've never had someone from China call in.
I don't know if you can get Rise Above in China.
Of course you won't.
Do you not reckon?
Yeah.
No, of course, there's no Rise Above in China. Of course, there's not. Their shit's so on fucking lockdown. There's nothing like this getting through over there.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, they don't. But at the end of the day, they don't give a shit. You can protest all you want. They're not going to care. You obviously heard about the truckers' protest they had in Ottawa in Canada, and then they did the Emergency War Powers Act. They renamed it, but basically that's what it's for. If there's like an insurrection or something like that, and now they're having basically an investigation committee hearing into how it happened, this and that, but it's all a smokescreen.
I mean, how it happened, it was pretty simple. How it happened, the government fucking went too far and pissed off everyone.
Or basically, if it was justified in to enact it, well, obviously it's not justified, right? But they weren't being violent or anything.
We're having a similar inquiry in the UK right now. It's just like an inquiry into Divock 91 and like what happened. Was it dealt with properly? And it's it's going to be exactly the same as like the 9/11
and
inquiry.
Actually, and what they're gonna find is that you guys didn't go far enough to stop the spread. That's what
exactly.
The answer's gonna be, right?
So the conclusions going forward will be next time there's a pandemic, you have to enforce the rules much harder with no leeway, slacking to make sure that you don't have the huge death count of all those people that died within 28 days of a totally bogus test.
Yeah. Just kind of a little personal story. There was my mother. She's quite elderly. She's like 87, and she lives with me. And she was sick about 4 or 5 months ago, so we took her into the hospital, and then found out that she had a bladder infection, which is very common for people that age. But they said she tested positive for the Divock, right. And of course at home she had none of those symptoms, right? So
not until she went into hospital.
Well, even in the hospital, she didn't really have any symptoms. They just, she took her special little test there, and they said, "Oh yeah, you got the Divock, so we have to put you in quarantine for 10 days. So you got to mask up, suit up, just to go see her every day and all the other stuff." But it's just a sham. And anyway, I was the first night because we took it to what they call the emergency, and I noticed I was looking at her medications. Because obviously I'm a bit leery knowing what's going on, and they had prescribed. I was there waiting with her, and then the nurse comes in and she starts hooking up some medication. I go, "Well, what is that?" And then she was like a diazepam or what is it called?
Midazolam.
Midazolam. Yes. And I go, "Well, I've heard some bad things about that. I don't think I want that. You giving that to my mom." He said, "Well, the doctor ordered it," and I said, "Well, no, I don't want her to have it." So okay. So she took it down, and I never heard a word after that. And she was in the hospital for a month, and no one ever said anything. "Oh, why didn't you want it?" or anything like that. So
you see, guys, you can just say no. Just say no to the Soviet Union.
Yeah, probably the most dangerous thing for them is the fact that that is a potentially dangerous drug, and just by highlighting it, and you say, I have some concerns about this. I've heard this makes people go to sleep. I've heard that.
They ain't getting up.
I've heard that the care path of this and the dosage has been altered. Can you show me what the correct dosage is, please? Even just by initiating those thoughts, by asking those questions, that's probably a very powerful weapon because you've shown that you're cognitive of what's going on, so that if there was, any question of if the unthinkable was to happen, you've already put the ball back in their court by showing that you're aware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the situation we're in. Once your eyes have been opened, you can't trust anybody. The doctors, obviously no one ever trusted politicians. But
mate, I think one of the most dangerous things you can do these days is go to hospital.
It could very well be.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's doing okay now. She's kind of a little on the debilitated side because she has, ongoing health issues she had before, so she can't really get up. But she's at home right now, and they want to put her in long-term care, basically a nursing home. But my dad, he passed away in a nursing home during the DIVIC and back in last year, and it was all locked down. I couldn't go see him till basically the very end. It went about three or 4 months where they were letting no one visit.
Yeah,
it was the same over here.
Well, everyone there was just
Yeah.
deteriorating because they couldn't see their families.
Yeah, and he had dementia, so it was obviously worse and then when the first time he did see me, he thought I was dead. Like he was surprised to see me alive. Because you could talk to him on the phone, but it just doesn't register with him because he's got dementia. So who knows what's going through his mind?
Sure.
But so that kind of sucks. So anyway,
Yeah,
they're,
sorry to hear
make
that,
a long
man.
story short, they want to. Well, thank you. They want to. Basically said, well, we'll send your mom, she should be going to long-term care because you can't really take care of her at home and stuff like that. So they sent her home temporarily, and that was like 3 months ago till they find a spot for her. But I probably won't send her. I'll just keep her at home because it's going okay. Unless she deteriorates a lot worse, because I know what it's going to be like in the nursing homes and what's going to happen with in the next few months.
Yeah, don't
right?
forget if it all does go to shit again in the COVID and you ramp everything up, if your mum's in a nursing home, you're probably not going to be able to get her out without a serious,
They'll be the first ones that are targeted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
And the
sincerely
peasantry
believe that.
won't be allowed entry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't really have much else to say. I just wanted to say thanks for everything you guys do.
No, thanks for
Like,
calling
it's
in,
really
man.
appreciated.
No,
You
it's
guys,
great to hear from you, mate. No, we want to say thank you because at the end of the day, that's why we open up the phone lines. We want some feedback from people that are watching us and listening in. So it's really important for us to get that. So thank you for calling in, mate.
Yeah.
And sharing.
I did order it. I did buy a T-shirt last week, so hopefully it'll show up fairly soon.
Awesome. What one did you get?
What's Enter something, whatever.
Everything exempt.
Everything, yes.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen that one on the orders list.
Everything.
Yeah. It'll be on its way to you soon. By the way, if you drop me an email, I'll send you some Christmas cards as well.
Oh, thanks. I don't really give them out because everybody in my extended family, they all went to the Britney concert, so they're not really. They might not appreciate the humor, but whatever.
Yeah, okay. You can just keep them for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put
I
them up,
guess I
put them in your car, drive around with them in the window.
You want me to just put in the Skype message then?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, put it in the Skype message.
Hell, send your local politician a Christmas card.
Actually, that's
Put one through the local Freemasonry building, all of it. Yeah, get
Yeah,
creative, my
that's
man. Get creative, Mario.
That's a perfect idea. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Well, I won't hold you up. Thanks again.
No, thanks a
Thanks
lot,
for calling in,
Mario.
Mary. Thanks a
All
lot.
Take care, brother.
Bye.
Rise above, generate,
That's what customer services is all about.
So that's Australia, Canada.
Let's see where our next call is going to be from. Yes, Elizabeth Clayton. It was an excellent call. Who else have we got tuned in here? Big shout out to Donna Harper.
I think Mark's listening. He put a comment up earlier. Our
did see
first
Mark.
caller saying is staged
Mark
with
he
the
accused-
noise in the
He
background.
accused the first caller of having fake bird sounds.
Or maybe he's accusing us of setting up like a call from Australia. I don't know.
Yeah, because he did say that we have.
He's in rural Australia, man.
Yeah, that's the sound if you go outside.
Like if you go outside of my house at night in the New Forest, there's all you hear is fucking owls hooting. Yeah, it's obviously a different bird. It's nothing was staged there.
Don't let Terra Slim know.
We haven't got an Australian friend in the next room on the cell phone.
No, we've just got another studio in there with someone with all the sound effects making fake calls. Yeah, right. So what was I just going to talk about before that call happened? Yeah, this. So I had this binge of Archaic's work, right? And obviously,
Lance sent me a message saying, I'm mixing Archaics and Godvag.
when you mix Archaic's together with Godvag, it's like a very potent combination. And I don't know if I was just getting it just right because I was just doing random episodes, but putting them back to back. Me and Marcus watched it for roughly 33 hours.
Of course you did.
We were going hard. But anyway, here's the point. Obviously, I'd watched all this Archaics, and I was thinking about the Phoenix event. Now, I was looking at other stuff.
We need to talk about this when Archaics is on the Phoenix event.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to take Jason places he's never been before. I'm going to ask him some questions that people don't normally ask him. Right. But here's the thing. I hadn't been searching the Phoenix event, but I've been thinking about it. And all of a sudden, in Facebook Messenger, in the Facebook sponsored ads, I keep getting these things. I had Phoenix Gym, Phoenix Life Coach. This is Phoenix Spirit Energy. And this hasn't even got the word Phoenix. It's just got a picture of a phoenix. But these have been showing up in my Facebook suggested ads since I did the Jason RKX binge. But I haven't been searching the word Phoenix.
Mate, I often get stuff come up on my social media that I've thought about, not told anyone or posted anything about.
I've only been thinking
Is that
about
the Schwab dust?
Yeah, is that the internal Schwab dust?
Yeah, that we've all got.
Or does Al Gore know how much Jason Archaics I've been consuming?
And he's just pumping that out to you.
Therefore, Al Gore knows that I'm thinking about the Phoenix.
But there's no coincidences in the realm.
There are no coincidences. No, basically, and I was thinking about it as well, like, because I was putting together like the Godfather theory of like the Ben stone and this, this piece of technology.
Yeah.
And with what Jason Archaics is talking about, the ancient artificial intelligence X. And I was thinking, is that the Ben stone? Is that the actual thing?
Quite possibly.
And then I was thinking, like, if that's what caused, like, it started spurting out this frequency which made the organic monkeys or whatever was here before, like, make the technology and stuff. And, I'm just random ideas here, like, Godfather
Get it on the table, mate.
But then I was thinking, like, we all have this thing that looks like a little Ben stone, like this black slab, and we're constantly giving our attention to it, and like, and it's like we're all carrying around a piece of AIX with us. And I just had this like, and what's the start of that film? Space Odyssey, where the monkeys, the monkeys there,
and then
the
the
desert,
stone comes down,
and the thing goes down, and they're all looking at it, going ooga ooga booga, and then they start like evolving. But now we all have one. That Tom Cruise movie, Oblivion.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's that about? The fucking the Tet. It looks like a Ben stone.
The tech.
No, it's Tet. I think it's called TET.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
But
it's the tech. It's the Ben stone's tech technology.
But it's like it tricks everyone into thinking something, but actually it's like an alien god.
Is it, or it's the parasite frequency?
Yeah, it's the parasite. Well, it was literally a parasite, like ripping all of the resources from Earth. But it tricked him into thinking that it was helping him. He was sorting things out. But no, you're actually serving the parasite. And I watched it again with the other half the other night on purpose because I'd done all this archaics in, and I was like, oh my god, this is literally telling you. Anyway,
there's multiple movies about the with the Ben stone in.
Yeah, but it's just I see it as the same thing. It's the fucking cube in Transformers as well. It's the Tesseract.
So in Godfather's work, he speculates that the Ben stone's been split up, and that there's some in Mecca, there's some in London. I'm not sure where.
Yeah, or it's been moved. Yeah, it's been either split up or it's been copied or it gets moved around.
Because what's in that box at Mecca? What's in that black box?
I reckon it's some sort of imprisoned jinn or something.
And maybe the rotation of the people walking around. Obviously, it symbolises
the Muslims
Saturn.
that I know that watch this show, they're like, don't know about that box. Whatever they're doing there, that's not.
What
that's
is
not
in
Islam,
the box?
bro.
What is in that box?
I don't know what is in that box. It's a very good.
Mate,
question.
if you say it's some sort of imprisoned jinn, maybe the circular motion of the people going round it, that's what keeps it.
That's what's feeding it.
Yeah,
Imagine
or
how much
keeps
attention,
it under lock and key.
Imagine how much attention and how much loosh, how much essence it's harvesting off all the people that are doing that.
Their
Is that happening?
pilgrimage.
That happens every day, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
That's-
constantly.
that
It's
goes-
24/7.
Is it 24/7?
Yeah, it's 25/8.
25 hours a day, 8 days a week, 33 days a month. Should we have some memes?
Yeah, hits up.
Hit us up. There's been obviously we had. I don't know if I want. If
Ratatosaurus or George Thunberg.
I don't know if the one on the left is one of ours, but on the right it's ours. It's Russ Kieran on the right. George Soros is open all hours. It's just like it didn't change it. Just George Soros. Guest starring
Zelensky.
obviously with a bit of powder coming out of his nose. But I think he's perfect. Is who was it? Was it Les?
Hey, hang on, is that Russ? That's Russ Kieran.
Yeah,
he
that's
puts
right.
the powder.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
puts the Charlie coming out of the nose.
That's a trademark. Russ Kieran.
Staple Russ Kieran. Big up all the Rise Above memeticians.
Yeah, big shout out to everyone. Rise and Shine is tuned in. I think Auntie Kovia. Yeah, there she is. All the fam. Kovia, is this your work on the
Keith
left?
Messerschmitt had been absolutely pumping it out.
Wow, is it for,
The other day, all I saw on my social media feed was just full of it.
If anybody doesn't know who Messerschmitt is, I do show his memes. He's not officially under my wing yet, but I've been grooming him. He's the guy that does most of his memes are like remixes of film covers.
But they're real simple.
They're real simple,
Real
but real
simple,
good.
yeah.
Like he has a style all of his own. Really, really,
He
really
pumps
good.
them out like fucking real speed.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got any Messerschmitt this week actually. Here's see, I would have gone with a slightly different word on this one.
There's a lot of Soros, isn't there?
It's a lot of sauce.
the eye of Soros.
Caucasus Agent Street. I would have called it Corona Agent Street because it sounds a little
What's
bit.
that C word?
Oh yeah, sorry. Coronal mass ejection. So everyone's saying that Zelensky looks like it's Soros' son.
He's his bitch, not his son.
Caucasus Agent Street by Russ Kieran.
So for anyone who doesn't know, in the UK, there's a what's the Coronation Street?
It's called
yeah.
Coronation Street.
It's like some trash TV series.
It's the northern version of EastEnders. That's all.
Again,
I know.
EastEnders is some fucking trash TV. If people don't know what it is,
Absolute filth. Absolute filth. Speaking of filth TV, this is another one. I think is this Russ Kieran or Auntie Kovia? I think this is Auntie Kovia.
who have we got? Is it Soros, Zelensky, and Jim? Is that Jim Carrey?
No, that's Hunter Biden.
Oh, of course it is. Oh, it looks like he's had a couple of crack pipes there.
Yeah, definitely. He's
That's,
holding.
that's why obviously he looks like Jim Carrey.
He's holding a crack pipe. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone again that isn't from the UK part of the crater, Blind Date was a really famous sort of like late 80s and 90s
Weird dating show,
yeah,
wasn't
there's
it?
a dating show. It was a blind date, and you know this is the first one. This is where it came from, blind date. But now it's blind rape. I think it's self-explanatory. Only the best philanthropists or full-on rapists are competing in this show nowadays with Cilla Black. Okay, I think
Here we go.
Yeah, because tonight is customer services. The phone lines, the Skype is open. We are waiting to hear from you, but we are also obviously going to discuss like the big topics of the week. And this week, or since we last did like a proper Clan World investigation, which was a couple of weeks at least, quite a lot of shit's gone down on PG.
Yeah, again, I wasn't here last week. I have caught up a little bit on I haven't watched the full presentation from Sheep Farm last week, but I did catch a bit of it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so last week we didn't speak about Clan World. The week before was Pirate Radio. Yeah, so a couple of weeks, a lot has happened. Now, a big happening this week is the release of this. It's called Died Suddenly. I call it Calamari Fried Suddenly.
Yeah, nice. I watched it the other day, and honestly, some of the shit that are in these these vials are.
It's pretty horrific. I mean,
So is that the Hydra? Is this the Hydra?
no, I'm obviously quite sceptical of this production as a whole. Not saying that most of it is not true.
I mean, the fact it's been out and it's still up,
The fact it's supposed to be heavily censored, but it's seen by 7 million people.
and it was it was on. I can't. I just watched it on Rumble.
Stu Peters, I would say he is at best highly questionable. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Some people think I'm a Freemason shield Mossad agent, but this Stu
You're
Peters-
Mossad now, as well.
a little bit Jewish apparently.
Let's throw that in the mix.
So this Stu Peters guy, he obviously made Watch the Waters, which seemed to be filled with quite a lot of disinformation. He is an ex-rapper of Stu Peters.
Don't forget, he might not be getting everything 100% right, but
I mean, he's got people on there that have been on the show, i.e. John Looney.
John Looney, yeah,
John Looney's on
he
there.
was on there.
I mean, what can we say? I don't know.
But what we can say is, let's take it for face value. If the shit there from these doctors coming out of these tubes is some kind of self-assembling nanotechnology or
Mate,
some weird.
basically, they said it's not blood clots. He said it's something else because
It's a white fibrous structure.
yeah,
And they get it out of the tubes, they like ping it around and stuff like that. It's literally like squid, calamari or whatever.
yeah. So it's like calamari.
It's like a fucking alien entity growing in people's veins and arteries.
I have a feeling that
And what was it? When they poured the blood out, the blood looked like had like specks in it, like someone had thrown some
it's dirty.
dirty blood. Like, so is that the nano Schwab tech before it's assembled, or what? Does all that shit assemble and then turn into one of these things?
turn into something.
So somebody needs to kidnap a Pfizer employee, like a high level one, and literally, torture them until they give you the ingredients list to see what's actually in this shit.
How many? I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen the entire thing. I watched over half an hour of it. I saw enough. But what I'm going to say is, how many people were actually involved in making that? How many examples? How many coroners, if they were even genuine, did they come forward? It was like at most a dozen or so, right? There wasn't hundreds of them. If this was generally happening,
To be fair, how many do you need if they're all saying the same thing?
yeah. But what I'm saying is, if this was generally happening and it was something that was happening widespread, I'm not sure that the lid could be kept on it. I don't know. It seems like if this is being handled on a plate to us,
I get what you're saying.
I'm
But
thinking,
don't forget,
is this some sort of distraction for something else?
don't forget, people need their paychecks, don't they? So they just keep a large majority would keep quiet.
That's very true. That's very true.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to think that if this was happening, like every single coroner or every single what they call begins with M, doesn't it? The people that
mortician.
Mortician. If this was happening widespread and everyone knew what was going on, I would like to think they would speak up. But how many people are going to lose their jobs? Or
I'm just going to have a look at what comments, what people are saying, because I know that most people have probably watched Died Suddenly. If anyone wants to get their comment on the screen, give me like a double hashtag or something. What are our general thoughts on Died Suddenly? I mean, let's zoom in and about these things that the embalmers are apparently pulling out of people's veins, this calamari stuff.
mate, he had loads of them. There was loads of them on the desk.
Mate, they were pulling it out like fucking...
One was like fucking 3 foot long, and the doctor said it came out of the jugular area. 3 foot long. Like when you stretch it out.
Auntie Covey, it says Gremlins 33, the new batches. Honestly,
Let's get that memed.
Yeah,
let's get that memed, Auntie Covey, and
send
that into us direct.
You let these normies eat fucking fried chicken after 10 p.m. Like Gremlins 33 starts bursting out their veins. Yeah, Mr. Rioso says fear porn. Stu Peters is controlled opposition. I mean, okay, let's go deeper.
We've just got an email from James. He's saying, I'm in the queue. He's not really fucking around. He's got a Rise Above t-shirt on outside of Brittany Clinic.
Nice. Who's that from?
Just some dude called I won't say a second name because he might not want me to.
okay.
But get the email up, put it up. It's quite a funny thing.
Yeah, we'll get that up on the screen. This is customer services after all. Oh no! As that came in, I just got another email.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at Polly's yet. No.
Okay, let me just get this. Image here. Get this over here.
Oh, it's Ted.
Everyone can see that.
In. So yeah, we've got James here. He's sporting a Rise Above garment outside a Britney Spears tour.
We love
box office.
Boom! Big shout to James. This is the kind of photo we want sent in. This is the kind of entrance we want into the merch comp. So don't forget Johnny Fogg. He won one of the new As Above, So Below t-shirts earlier on for his constant representing the Rise Above.
Don't forget, guys, we've got some really cool new merch like this.
Yeah.
Fresh out the crate.
When Oma Beats gets here soon and we have some music, I'll show you a recap of the merch that's now available. Oh, look at that. We've got like 260 people tuned in though. Okay, so customer services.
Yeah, the phone lines are open, guys. Like, call in. Yeah, someone just call in.
Yeah, we want to hear from someone that's watched Die Suddenly, and we want to hear your thoughts on this because it's 7.
Let us know if you like calamari.
Yeah, let us know what you think about fried calamari suddenly. Call in. riseabovelivestream@gmail.com on the Skype. If you want to call us on the phone, you need to email us at riseabovelivestream and get my phone number. I'm not going to put it on the screen. No way. Or if you want to join us. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put the link in for people to join us on the screen.
So we've had an email from Polly. She was at Ratry. A lot of our
I'll show
viewers
you
know
that.
Polly. She sent us a picture of Ted, the giant rise above bear, with his t-shirt on. She says, "Hi, Ra fam. Ted is watching. He wishes everyone a positive path and mender through the cold season. He will soon be going into winter hibernation as bears do. Big hugs to you all, Polly and Ted."
Big shout to Polly and Ted. Thank you very much for that email,
He's got
Polly.
his t-shirt on. Digital Sun.
Love it. Yeah, so disclosure for some people. There's definitely going to be some people of a certain demographic that were noticing some things that will have seen this.
I've contemplated showing this to my close family members who have had the Britney Spears tour, the full tour. But I just don't know. I've tried and tried and tried. Like we were saying earlier, if you're not going to wake up at this point, a lot of my family are fairly middle class. They're not, they're not interested in.
Yeah, but imagine if
They think I'm some weird conspiracy theorist.
Let me just put it like this. Imagine if your family member has had a full triad of Moderna, Pfizer.
My mate's on 5. I said that earlier.
Right. Imagine if they've got all of that.
They've had a
inside them.
pentagram.
They've had a full wireless pentagram nanofiber matrix installed inside them. And then you sit down and you watch this with them. And they see that calamari coming out of people's veins. What would that actually do to someone?
I wonder if, I get what you're saying, this is going to traumatise people.
Mate, it's-
literally traumatise people, especially if they're elderly. I wonder if there's some kind of screening that you can do to check if you've got the shit growing inside you, like some X-ray or I don't know. Do you remember there was that video going around a while ago of the blood analyst?
Yeah.
It was a foreign lady, sounded from like maybe Eastern European, not quite sure what her name was. And there was a dude interviewing her, and she had blood samples of her clients, which she'd done for years and years. Looked at their blood, and then as soon as they had the Britney Spears tour, there was like she put up before and after, and the blood was fucked. It was fucked. Like blood cells are like tiny little dots, all should be close together. Almost looks like frog spawn. And then next to that, when they had the Britney Spears tour, there's shit like this calamari, like huge fucking structures of like the blood just fucking congealed.
The Soviet Union has literally
Yeah.
colonised your bloodstream and started building structures inside it, comrade. I've just remembered. I've got a present for you.
What you got? And it's not even Christmas. Oh,
Merry Christmas. Christmas has come early.
I don't celebrate Christmas, being the solar cult.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. Oh, look at that.
Andy PG.
New Sennheiser headphones. Get the peasant cam up.
his headphones are a little bit beat up and they're not very comfortable. So let me just sort that. Oh.
So we've got brand new Sennheiser headphones, guys.
That is bought with Raw Treat money. So thank
Awesome.
everyone.
Thank you very much who attended
Raw
Raw
Treat
Treat.
money.
Sick.
You deserve it.
I'm
we
gonna,
need to get.
I'm going to get them on now.
We need to get something from Magix as well.
Yeah, big up Magic. So you gave me. I was chatting to him the other night.
Omer Beats is on his way. Where are you, Omer? Hurry up.
Let's get these bad boys out. So yeah, guys, come on, call in, talk to us about
I want to speak to somebody that has seen died suddenly. I want to hear from you.
So who was the dude who made this?
Stu Peters.
Stu Peters.
Oh, look at that! You got a nice cable on there.
Yeah, nice.
Very, very fresh.
Freshy, look at this.
Oh mate, they're nicer than my headphones.
Yeah, you keep your hands off. Yeah, so we really want to see if we can speak to that dude, don't we? The guy who made it. Does anyone know anything about him? I've never looked into this dude. I've never even heard of him.
I saw sort of like an expose on him, and he was like an internet rapper. Then he started his own podcast and started telling the truth. Wait a minute, it sounds a bit like me. Called the Stu Peters Network. He made Watch the Water, and These Little Ones. I haven't seen These Little Ones. I don't know what that's about. But Watch the Water was the one that was saying something about snake venom in the water to do with covia, and it was like it would seem like fear porn. Like it was basically just like, it's in everything. Everyone's fucked. You don't even need to take the injection.
To get, yeah.
Like, that is a nice cable, isn't it?
That is a nice cable. But like, do you remember back in 2020 when we had our Facebook group, Cognitive Dissonance?
Yeah.
I put up a post in there about some science article which was headlined, "We now have the technology for stabby jabs to spread themselves. You
Yeah.
don't need to stab everyone." because it's like the shedding or whatever it is. It fucking is.
Yeah. Well,
I know Tara Sim's got a big thing about
Terracins, I don't go anywhere near them.
Unspeared people sleeping with speared people. I know he's got a big thing about that.
Well, I mean, let's face it, if it's
Because of the shedding, and then he's like, you know, you're going to spread it to... He's highly vocal about that on his social media.
Stop sullying the gene pool. Shit. So is no one else seen Die Suddenly that wants to have a chat with us and see what they think? I want to hear someone else's opinion on it.
Maybe just no one wants to talk to us tonight.
Yeah, maybe they're just tired of us and they just want to chat to each other in the chat room. Oh, look,
Which is cool. We
200
got memes.
200
memes for days.
We've got memes for days. 270 people tuned in. Okay, let's see what we got next. Okay, right now, here's an interesting one. Just before, or roughly around the same time,
Oh, they're
I think.
tasty.
Are they nice?
Yeah, nice.
Nice. You deserve it, Andy PG.
Thank you very much.
That's all right. Thank everyone that came to our treat. Right, so Thomas Sheridan put out a video saying about psychic weather. He's talked about this before. And you know, in Dracula, you know, like Dracula's gimp, he's called Renfield.
Yeah.
He talks about Renfields, like out in the realm, and Renfielding.
Scurrying around.
Renfielding, people that are just serving the parasite and serving the dark energy, yeah. And he said he noticed like high levels of Renfielding happening, like I think it was like last week or the start of this week. And I think in his video, I only listened to a few minutes of it, I think he sort of postulated that it was because it was to do with the release of Died Suddenly. That, you know, obviously it was sort of like a big we told you so, you know, in your face. Even if those people haven't seen it, the fact that it's going out in the realm could be causing like a, you know, some sort of rupture in the morphic field. But I noticed at the same time that Thomas Sheridan was observing this in normies, that this was also going on. And I'm sure everyone else has seen about this as well. Andy PG, you seen this?
No, I haven't.
It started, I believe, in either Mongolia or Siberia or China or somewhere like that. It was
What am I looking at here?
cattle. And it
This
was
is cattle.
yeah, it was
So I
observed.
thought it was Mecca without the box.
No. This is out in the middle of nowhere on the Arctic tundra, and some I don't know, it's either reindeer or sheep or goats or something, and they started, you know, circling in a Mecca style
Fashion.
fashion, yeah. But then this phenomenon sort of spread, and as you can see, people on TikTok are like reporting on it here. I'm just going to make the big screen so you can see. This is a load of cows or bulls doing it in the middle of a city, a European city.
This is weird as fuck.
Yeah. Some sheep doing it in a field in the UK.
Man, this is mad.
Yeah. This is
So is this from the pento jizzle frequency? That's
all I know is I was talking to Master Lee about this, and basically me and Master Lee were having a conversation, but we both noticed a change in the morphic field. And then this happened, and Thomas Sheridan started posting about it as well. And he's quite good about stuff like that. I don't agree with everything he says.
No, me too.
For
Yeah.
instance,
He's fully against cannabis.
yeah, and he believes in the Apollo moon landing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, he's very good when he talks about.
Mate,
stuff
everyone's
like
under some kind of mind control.
this.
Let's
It's
be
good.
honest. You know.
I'd like to talk to him about it.
I'd love to talk to Thomas Sheridan.
What people in the comments saying? Dougie Gemmell says CERN.
Yeah.
Lord Doobsworth is saying polar shift.
Do you remember as well when they? I don't know if this was some kind of fucking media gaslighting, but do you remember in 2020 when is that when they turned on the first pento chisel tech?
Yeah.
Do you remember there was all those birds, just like flocks of birds, just dying and just
Yeah.
fall into the ground, and then there was other videos going around of like birds pecking away, like attacking the 5G, the pento chisel towers.
Yeah. That bird phenomenon that like carried on. That's still going on.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's almost like it happens like every 6 months. There's a spate of like.
So
you
is this that? Just not with birds?
I don't know. But all I know is it started in one place in the world, and before I knew it, in a couple of days, it had been reported all over the world. Yeah, that he go. You can see this is.
Mate, this is weird, man.
Yeah, mate.
Look at that's a perfect circle.
Yeah.
It's almost like some field, like force field shit that they're walking. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like that's two, but like humans couldn't do that.
No.
Yeah.
Not
Until the
yet.
AI kicks in.
Yeah, because this is these animals have just done this. You know,
That's literally like a perfect circle. Look at that. Look at the way they're walking. There's not one like hoof out.
They're following an energy
It's
pattern.
really odd.
They're picking something up. But the thing is, right? We're saying about someone's saying CERN, but there is
Look at the sheep. That's fucking weird, man.
there's no CERN under the ground here. in
We
this field.
we got a caller coming in.
Okay, we have a caller. Welcome back to Rise
Empathic
Above.
Rebel, welcome to Rise Above. You're live and direct.
Hi. Obviously, I know the swear words and everything. I've spoke to you before, but you might not recognise my voice. I was very, very, very unwell when I last spoke to you back in 2021.
I do remember.
Your voice does
Yes.
sound familiar.
Yes, yeah. A lot has happened since then, and my main reason for coming on the show really was just to sort of give people a little bit of a warning as well for like. It's easy, the things that I did back in 2021, when you're going through rough times and everything is changing, like we've got this cost of living thing, they're screwing people over with fuel and with energy and with the price of food. It's so easy when we're in this space of, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? It's so easy in that place of fear to make catastrophic mistakes or just errors of judgment in general. And you can land yourself in some serious trouble, you know. Watch, like, the person that helped me, so basically what happened to me last year is I'd been meeting with some local people during the DIVC and during the pandemic, and I'd been forming friendships and making connections. And my father, who I ended up having to go back home to care for, this guy from the group who is, I will point out before I go any further, he is an innocent man. Maybe he gave me something that didn't agree with me, I don't know, but he's an innocent man. For anybody that's listening thinking I'm going to try and spread hate to anybody, I'm not. But basically my father was getting worse and worse, and he started to sort of help me out and sort of do things for me and like just help out. But then one day he started telling everybody when I fell ill, he started telling everyone, my family, my friends, that I had DIVC. And he was said, because my father had gone into a nursing home at this point because I was obviously unable to look after him, and he was telling my family that I had DIVC and that he needed to look after me. He needed to be the one to be there. My family obviously didn't trust him. I was overstretched. I was full-time carer, activity manager for a charity organisation, support worker. My stress level was way above. Anyway, he gave me something, and the next day he thought it was. He thought it was giving me, is it Ivan's medicine? If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ivan's medicine.
Yeah. And he told me that would help me, that would sort me out. Anyway, I got admitted to hospital a few days later because I'd started to be delirious, and I was very drowsy. I was confused, and I then had seizures. And they told my family that it was 50-50 that whether I would pull through. They had to intubate me.
What?
They had to put me, and this guy got arrested. And I felt so bad that he got arrested. I don't know. I now I don't trust anyone. I don't, not that I believe that he was guilty of trying to harm me, because I don't. But it's like when you're under so much pressure, when you've got so much going on, be really careful about the decisions that you're making. Be really careful about, the friends that you're making and the things that you believe. It's like this documentary you're on about, people are going to absorb this and think, oh my goodness, this is the absolute truth, when it's not,
Now, everyone has to use discernment. And obviously that comes with time. Like I don't know if you been listening to the start of the show, but we had a guy on from Australia, and he was talking about that you have to, it's easy to see at this point.
Yeah.
If you've been, awake to this for a long period of time, like me personally, I've been studying this stuff since 9/11. Lance was probably the same, and nearly 20 years. But it gets easier and easier to see. But that's, that comes with time. Some people who've only just woken up, they're still going to have to use, their
and I could see how people
lower level of discernment.
They could see that documentary and they could absolutely jump on it. Like, this is what we've been waiting for. This is confirmation, and be going around spreading it to everyone, saying you need to watch this, and unintentionally maybe, you could be,
doing some damage.
Yeah, that documentary, and there's nothing on this screen that is not allowed. That's not like, that's not supposed to be seen. Everything is allowed that you can see on the internet.
So my journey for the last I woke up in 2020, and I'll be really honest, I feel like sometimes I'm still glad that I woke up, but sometimes I feel like it's destroyed my life. It's been just the most insane, crazy experience, and it happened too quick, during the
That's because it was all shoved in everyone's face at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. One of the best pieces of advice I'd give to people if you're going through that horrible conscious shock, or people that are really struggling, is you've got to try and be an observer, not an absorber. I probably, in the first few months of Divok, I absorbed probably thousands of hours of information. It was before Al Gore got crazy on YouTube. Right. So I could literally turn, and my support work job was having a bit of a lull getting the digital stuff set up. And I probably woke up in the morning, sat watching stuff on YouTube. Al Gore would send me to the next video, and the next video. I'd lay down about 3 a.m. thinking, I'll just have a nap while I'm listening to this. And I'd wake up 10 in the morning and I'd start again. It was that intense.
Almost like an addiction level of
definitely
absorption.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absorption.
Definitely. And then and this is, I hope I don't upset anybody with this, but sometimes in the people in this movement, we've all added like thousands and thousands of people on our Facebook, and we don't realise when we're in that addiction, when we're in that toxic negative space, we literally don't realise how some of these things are sounding to other people. Not that they're wrong, but the way we've put things across, I've deleted a lot, not because it was wrong, but it just sounded horrible. It sounded aggressive. The anger phase of this journey is so real, but we need to come through that. And I think having the seizures that I'd never had before, but and I had a couple of near-death experiences as well, which was pretty insane. But like going through that and having to forcibly come away from it, forcibly disassociate from the people that I was involved with, that has been effing lonely though, because obviously that means that I've now got my family who I have a visual impairment. I don't have any other disabilities, but even so, like my family, when they found my sort of little collection of, dried food and things, it was like, Jamie, like, this is a mental health condition. If you don't, when I came home from hospital, I had social services involvement. So wait, because
you had dried food.
because of some of the things that they'd found me looking at, and because people had been looking at prepping channels, sort of saying stock up. I had like a massive cupboard of like really big cupboard of like dried food, tin food, stuff like that.
What's crazy about that?
I know. So it is at times. It's incredibly isolating because you feel like you're keeping a dark secret. And also, I've had to learn you can't in this movement. Even locally to you, if you're not in the right headspace, you can't really trust many people, because this is what I'm worried about personally. When in the next phase, I think 2023 is going to be really bad, and then 2025 is going to be the game changing point basically. And I think people are going to be like, oh, we'll keep you safe, we'll keep you warm, don't worry, and then they're going to want things back for it, or they're going to want control. Do you know? People that are offering help to vulnerable people, I think there might be things they want in return, and that really scares me.
Yeah, because obviously, when the situation presents itself that breaks down a power dynamic, you have sort of like new predators and scavengers involved that are ready to prey on those people that can't look after themselves so well. And that's something that we do need to be very, very, very wary of, and that will certainly happen. Those people will come out of the woodwork to prey on people that are vulnerable.
Absolutely. So you've just got to. I feel like I've come out. I feel like I'm coming out of a 3-year-long or 2.5-year-long black hole. But I think I've been like, why have other people done so well and made so much progress in their lives despite having, this awakening? But my thinking is, if I've had all of my intensity of fear and panic and horror, even now, there's things I can't prepare. I can't do things like that because not that I'm being watched by family, but that I'm, if I started spending all my money on things, there'd be people asking questions. So, I've spent, but when my family's got power cuts, when my friends have got power cuts, I will be then able to be that calm place in their lives, because all of my fear, my intense emotions, the journey, the program has kind of gone through me, and I'll be in a much better place when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what you've got to remember, is that, the fact that you've gone through this tumultuous period that's knocked you sideways a little bit, everyone is going to have that happen to them at some point. And it's probably a lot better for you to have done that under a more controlled environment, rather than when the shit's hitting the fan. Because you've got to remember, is if you're a normie and you're still burying your head in the sand with regards to all this, and you're not preparing, then you're actually setting yourself up for...
It's going to be a lot more painful when that hammer comes down.
A lot more painful. And like you say, then you're going to be in the position potentially to actually be the person that has made the preparations, however small or insignificant they might be, whether it's candles, water purifier, whatever it is that someone's done. Those people that have been ridiculed or, told they're mental for being a prepper,
they're going to be in the shit, man.
Everyone's they're going to be the people. They're going to be the people that you're going to be coming to, and they're going to be knocking on your door saying, "Oh my God, what's happened?"
At the same time, don't forget, we don't want that to happen. We don't want it to get to that stage. Yeah. It's like we pray to Ronald McDonald that it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what we'd sort of hope is that everyone is moving to a stage of being a little bit more self-sufficient anyway, because we've already said before that there's nothing wrong with being more self-sufficient, not going to the supermarket, not relying on the supermarket to get your food, having the backup in your cupboard, having your own way to make a clean water.
It's not saying you have to dig yourself a nuclear bunker and stock it up with 5 years worth of, dried food and stuff like that, but it's always good to have, something on standby if something goes wrong for anyone.
Absolutely.
regardless of the COVID union.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, you know, I mean, it sounds like you're in a difficult situation. If you like, you say you're worried that, you know, people are worrying about your mental health for being prepared. It's kind of a
Yeah.
difficult one. I would say, you know, just keep your head down and just be safe in the knowledge that whatever prep you've already done, you know, that's more than they've done. If you want to carry on doing it, it's up to you. And you know, and don't feel pressured into acquiesce into what other people want. At the end of the day, we're all doing this for ourselves. You know,
Absolutely.
and once we can look after ourselves and we can be competent, that's when we can start to look after other people.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'd say, you know, as difficult as it might be, if people are sort of, you know, breathing down your neck, thinking, you know, are you nuts because you're preparing for something that they can't see? Mm-hmm. You know, there's that old saying: those who were dancing seemed quite insane to the people who couldn't hear the music.
So,
you know,
and don't forget as well, it shouldn't be just all research. You know, absorbing literally everything you can. Everyone should have a balance. Yeah, don't forget to get off social media, get off the, you know, the videos that you're watching or books you're reading that might be a little bit heavy and you know, stuff like that. Go for a walk in nature, go for a swim in the sea. Do something that you love.
I had a big thing like this in 2020. You know, where I was researching all the time. I was constantly trying to be right.
Mate, the Empress put her foot down.
Yeah, and then I sort of like. I made some video vlogs and I was just being very honest, you know, this is taking a toll on me. I need to start doing some more stuff myself. And for me, it was getting some roller skates and it was doing something that I hadn't done for 20 years, which I really enjoyed, you know, and that's been really good for me. And that's why when I'm not doing, you know, the live streams and stuff, I like to do the videos like that and show other people like what I do in my downtime to release, you know, the tension of comprehending what's going on.
That rough energy, that hard energy, that negative energy has to go somewhere. So this illness, whatever I've had, the doctors, when the doctors couldn't find a cause for my seizures, the hospital wanted to test the substance that this unfortunate person, you know, gave me that got arrested, people thinking he was trying to hurt me, but he wasn't really. When the hospital wanted to test it, but the hospital said the police should test it, the police said the hospital need to test it. And when that happened, I, you know, for a couple of months, I was sleeping for 16 hours a day. But while I was in hospital, I was there for about a month. And the hospital said, well, we can't find anything, so we're going to refer her to the mental health team. And I think the purpose of me getting ill, I think it was my body saying, fuck this shit, I'm out, if I'm being honest. I think it was saying, you know, you need to stop, you need to, you know. I've had a year out now. I've had a year. It's been just over a year since I've left hospital. And I've had this year to go clubbing. Me and my mate have been fucking off to different corners of the country, doing night clubbing, having a great time.
Good.
And I think and I'm now ready to sort of take on some of the, you know, I'm a lot more balanced and I'm a lot more clear-headed. You know, I've had one of the comments that really, really cut to my bones at the end of 2020. My cousin sent me an epic message on Facebook, and she said, no, you know, you're an utter cunt. No one cares whether you live or die. So it don't matter whether you wear a mask or not.
It's always nice to hear.
Wow.
Yeah. And considering how many people, I'm not trying to say that I'm the big I am and that I help loads of people, but the stories and the people that came to me during 2020, you know, with their heartache, with their sadness, and then she turned around to me and said, it's obvious that you have no empathy for any other human beings. And that is just bullshit, because I gave everything. I gave everything to try and keep my dad at home for as long as I could.
Don't forget that, you know, the mind control is strong. So you do have to be somewhat sympathetic with the people that are fully under it. And it sounds to me like the person who's giving you this much shit is fully under the mind control of the media and COVID union.
Yeah.
So you do have to, I mean, I feel sorry for people like that. I feel sorry for some of my own family members. One of my own family members, they literally, every time when they turn on their computer, there's the homepage is split four screen. It's got the Guardian newspaper, the Times, the Financial Times, and the Telegraph. So literally every time they turn on the computer,
They don't stand a chance.
no, literally don't stand a chance.
No.
And this is a close family member of mine who's a certified genius on paper. And to me,
Wow.
a certified genius is not inherently intelligent. They might be intellectual, but there's a difference between wholesome intelligence and intellect. It's two different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So don't forget, you have to be a little bit patient and,
Yeah.
with these people. So and
And I
forgiving
think that's
because
what we lacked in 2020. I think that's us in the movement, and I'm not saying everybody was the same. We kind of lacked that patience. We could all see it, and we kind of got a little bit angry and a bit, letting our frustration on the other people. I don't regret my awakening one bit, but I do regret my response to it.
Yeah,
Sure.
we're all learning as we go, all of us.
yeah, don't forget, if you said you only, became aware of all of this kind of stuff in 2020 and you had a roller coaster of a research ride, then, it's probably going to hit you a lot harder than it would hit someone like me who's been researching this since I was 14 years old.
I had a long time
Yeah.
to practice for this. I was going over this stuff in my head for decades,
Yeah.
for this event where I knew I was going to have to spill the beans or at least attempt, and I didn't get everything right. I didn't get my response to everything right. So don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up about it. At the end of the day, this is the greatest apocalypse ever. Not everyone even gets to live through something like this.
And don't forget,
Yeah.
like like Master Lee spoke about on the show and lots of stuff. You use this negativity as a catalyst to go around the Soviet Union or to make yourself better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
and that's-
Whether we like it or not, from 2020, everyone was forced to change in some way. Some have changed more
Yeah.
than others. Some have completely changed. But everyone was absolutely forced to change, sit with themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So everyone is
absolutely.
different now to some degree.
Yeah, I think it's easy for somebody like myself in this difficult situation that I am. My sister has ME and she can't really do. My dad's had so many strokes. He's 62. He's got vascular dementia. It's easy for somebody like myself to sort of sit back and be absolutely shitting themselves, thinking, this is gonna take me. This is gonna be the end of me. But you have to think. You have to sort of find ways to maneuver your way around things. I'm not a believer personally that we're gonna be able to sort of split and live in one kind of unified jabbed versus unjabbed society. I don't think that's going to happen because we're all so different. It's like people say, oh, you're not awake if you believe this, or you're not awake if you don't, and things like that. And I think we're going to have to find ways to manage our own lives without falling for the whole system. We all have to use their systems and their pathways for some things. One of the things I'm quite worried about, have you guys looked into human capital markets and pay for success finance? So basically,
No.
what they're looking to do, people who need services or food, or their data is going to be gathered and harvested, and people are going to be betting. So say, for example, somebody to get medical care, someone needs to go on a diabetes pathway, and there will be investors that are betting on the outcome of whether this subset of people that are taking this pathway, they're going to be betting on whether they succeed or fail. And
wow.
that is how a lot of people are going to get their funding. So that's one thing that is just getting bigger and bigger. I don't know how much.
I guess that's stakeholder capitalism, is it? That's what it means.
Yeah.
On the peasant.
Yeah.
On the peasantry.
Yeah.
Well,
if
yeah,
you
it's
want
like
to
you'll
know
just
more
be
about-
like Cat. You'll be basically us lot don't get a chance to take part in capitalism. It happens above us, where the stakeholders, and we're just sort of like market shares.
Peasants.
Yeah, just proper
Peasants.
peasants. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I would offer some advice though. Like we'll probably wrap up the call.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, don't be sorry. Well, I'll probably offer some advice. Don't let yourself get absorbed in all the negative of the COVID union. Try to, really think about how you can use it for your advantage.
Yeah, totally. And if you like any ideas before I leave, if you'd like any ideas on a good guest, and if you actually have the time to look up her hours and hours of work, Alison McDowell does some incredible work on stakeholder capitalism, social impact investing, and she creates maps of like who's the funders, who's the investors, where the money's going, where the money's coming from. So that might be a good guest for you one week.
I hope you're listening to this, Sam Carno.
Alice McDowell.
Alison
McDowell.
McDowell. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, guys, it's been lovely to talk to you.
No, thank you very
I
much. It's good to hear from you again.
down.
No, it's all right. No,
Can I just ask, what sector of the creator realm are you calling from? Are you in the UK, yeah?
West Yorkshire.
You're in West Yorkshire. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, Enlightened Empire, thank you very much for calling in. It's been great to hear from you. We like to hear from people we've heard from before. And good to hear you're doing all right.
Stay strong.
Yeah,
Thank
rise
you.
above.
Thank you, Rise Above. Bye.
Generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above.
There we go. Australia, Canada, UK.
Representing. Where did we get to?
We got to the catalytic conversion of cattle and
Cat
farmyard animals.
catalytic conversion here. These cattle.
Saturnian catalytic conversion.
They're definitely catalysing some cattle and some energy here. Whatever's going on, I don't know, but there's been a shift. It's been a shift in the normosphere, in the clown simulacrum. Oh shit! Right, I just remembered that meme that we've just been sent.
Yeah, let's get that up.
Wow. Okay, so I was speaking a lot about Jason Archaics earlier on. Future Ghost is clearly watching. This is.
It's just dropped this in live time.
Yeah, this is something.
We
to
received
behold.
this about 5 minutes ago.
Let me just get this up. Okay, here we go. That's right.
Look at that.
Archaics.
Look at King David to the background in the left, wearing his crown.
Ancient King
That's
David.
a great picture of you, Lance, as well.
It is. Where did he
He's
get
been
that
digging
picture
through
from?
the archives. Look at your hair. That's a long time ago, mate.
Where did he get that picture from? So yeah, Jason, if you're watching,
What is this Is this that TV series?
Stargate, SG-1.
Stargate,
Yeah. Rise Above the Simulacrum. Fucking
the portal.
Absolutely classic.
The portal to Ra.
What is everyone saying about this? Yeah, I think Jason. I need
With
to
the
send this
Phoenix.
to him.
There's your Phoenix,
There's the
Lance.
Phoenix there. 33. Oh yeah, he's made the Phoenix look like 33 as well. What a legend. Ben, Future Ghost, you are, mate. I think I need to send you some.
Mate, I
Christmas
love
cards.
receiving memes in live time. Like on the show.
That's what this show is all about. Dougie Gemmell says, "Fuck, that should be on a T-shirt. I think we should put this on a T-shirt and send it
to King David.
And
we
to-
need to
and
send him.
Jason.
We sent him a Christmas card last year, didn't we?
We did, but it wasn't like a proper Christmas card. This year, we've got like proper Christmas cards to send him.
What was the image? I remember there was he was the Star of David, wasn't he? At the top, there was the.
I think I'm not going to lie. I think it was the sort of the classic rabbit in a manger theme again.
Yeah.
But we will send one of the proper Christmas cards to King David. I can't stop looking at this meme. Archaics rise above the simulacrum. Classic. Can't wait. If Jason hasn't seen this by next week or the week after,
Just ping it over to him.
I will. I'll send it to him.
Thank you very much, Future Ghost.
Yeah, very good indeed. What is going on with Homer Beats? He's like, yeah, I'll be a little bit late. It's like 11:15. We'll probably go to midnight tonight.
He's
We'll do
busy,
a
man.
3-hour show. Yeah, Homer Beats is busy. Okay, so we were in sort of like meme land a little bit. What we got here?
NPC.
Classic from Sagehead. The TV told me so. This is one of our Rise Above sort of like Facebook profile picture memes. These have been very popular. The most famous is I support the current thing, right?
That's what
Elon Musk.
Robo Musk.
Robo Musk.
With his Neuralink.
Russell Bland. JP Sears among
Did Russell Bland? Did he share it?
Russell Bland was using it all over the place. All over the shop. I think this is Auntie Koviet's work. So yeah, now we can talk about the.
Oh, this is that kids show from fucking years.
Yeah,
ago.
Rainbow.
Yeah. So what have we got here, Rainbow? Where are we going on holiday, Jeffrey? Not fucking Qatar, that's for sure.
So, bread and circuses, the ultimate bread and circus.
The amount of energy being released. Mate, they had it on in the gym the other day when I was training in the evening.
England played.
Everyone in the gym
earlier.
was just watching it, and I was looking around thinking the amount of attention being focused on the Schwab screen.
It's a lot of bread and it's a lot of circus.
Mate, they lap it up, the peasantry.
Can someone tell me what the score was? Like, did England win earlier on? They played America. Obviously,
I
they
don't even
should
know,
thrash
mate. I
America.
have no idea what is going on.
Did anybody watch the bread and circuses? Like, if here's a way to expose yourself as a right NPC. Did you watch?
It doesn't matter. We're not judging. Well, we are judging. you, but-
No, we're not. No, I was just curious because you would expect England to beat America. But anyway, so it's the World Cup. It's in Qatar. The World Cup isn't normally in the summer. It's normally in the summer, isn't it?
Should we have like a pool on of how many footballers drop dead during it? Is that still happening? Is that still a thing? Athletes still dropping
it's
it?
not- it's-
Like during games and matches and
I don't know.
on the football court?
I don't know if it's come off the court and it's just gone into the crowd now, and just normal people are suffering from coinciditis. I heard it was.
Makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? All of those footballers just
It was
literally dropping on
It was a
mid
0-0 draw. How shit is that? Fucking hell! I was going to make a prediction. I was like, oh, it'll be 3-3. It's basically the same 0-0. Right, so let's have a look. I mean, I came across this. It was 33-1 that Argentina would beat Mexico. Apparently, not that.
Here's the
means
spoiler,
anything.
guys. It's all rigged. Everything.
Yeah. Sorry to
Formula
spoil it.
One, football, all of it. It's all fucking rigged.
All bread and circuses is
Yeah.
rigged by default. Sorry to spoil it. Yeah. It's like I said before, like, if white collar boxing or
All of that as well.
If
I mean,
semi-
look
if-
at Anthony
if-
Joshua.
if semi-pro boxing where £500 or £1,000 is on the table, it's rigged.
Yeah.
You really think they're going to have like major league sporting events where billions of pounds in advertising and
And the amount of energy and loosh being put
and
towards it.
you know,
Come on.
all of the betting and stuff. Nah, no way is it not rigged.
all of the merch.
Of course, those bastards that sell merch just give all the money to Lucifer. So, is there any occult business at the World Cup? What do you reckon?
Well, let's look at the logo for starters.
Any clues? Is that the demiurge? Is that the serpent eating its own tail? The Ouroboros?
There's a pentagram here as well. If you look, let's get the
Yeah,
mouse
there's
set.
a pentagram
Yeah,
there.
there's a pentagram right there. Here. That's the pentagram.
So
Not that the
obviously-
pentagram's negative. It's just used in negative context by the wrong people.
So obviously, ancient Islam is highly occulted. Master Lee learnt a lot of what he learnt from Muslims, as he says. So this is
Mate, I stopped off in Qatar once on a flight to Thailand, and I was there for 9 hours, like in a hotel, because there was some issue with the flight, whatever. And I went outside for a smoke, and I got told off just for smoking outside in a hotel. Yeah, just for smoking on the street. So I can't imagine what all the retarded football fans who like to cause trouble are going to get themselves into out here.
Yeah.
There's going to be some shit going down.
good luck, guys. So the symbol for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar in 2022.
Could you imagine if you pissed in the street and got caught by some Soviet enforcer? That'd be it. You get your head lopped off.
Imagine the way you get treated in the prison there.
You'd be fucked.
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't fancy it. So, someone pointed out, this could just be a coincidence that this epic photo was taken with the two numbers.
9/11.
9/11, yeah. Nice.
With the Saturnian tick there of
Saturn
Nike.
tick, yeah. Okay, so there was also a lot of,
Oh, is this still going on as well?
well, obviously this was allowed, taking the knee was allowed, but
What for?
for
That's still for BLM?
for Black Lives
George,
Matter. yeah.
fucking hell.
Because that's not an issue in Iran, but obviously the rainbow is sorry, not Iran, Qatar, but the rainbow is an issue.
Yes.
So you're not allowed to have your rainbow programming armband on
Right.
but you are still allowed to kneel for
To bow down to George Floyd.
for George. I almost said George Soros, but yeah, George Floyd. But or bow down for George Soros, and they all did, or most of them did. And there was obviously quite a few memes, and I just like to just remind everyone about taking the knee and what it really means. Allegedly, it's to do with Queef Masons. The fellow craft obligation, the left arm should be perpendicular. They weren't doing. Oh yeah, they are doing left arm perpendicular, sort of. Well, they're not allowed, they're allowed to do this, but they're not allowed to wear the rainbow. And there's loads of people that are getting arrested for having like a rainbow hat or like a rainbow. I saw someone with like a rainbow. One of the players that isn't playing, he was just spectating, had like a rainbow Rolex, and it's like, oh yeah, that'll show him. And he's taking selfies with a game in the background with his rainbow Rolex. And I was just like, really, is it that important to virtue signal? Like,
I wonder,
to risk your own freedom.
Do you think they get told, right, you have to kneel, otherwise you're not playing? Or do they get paid extra if they kneel? Or like, I wonder what the deal is. I wonder if they have to do it by default, or otherwise they're not allowed to play.
Yeah,
But if that's the case, these motherfuckers don't even know what they're doing or why they're doing it. They don't give less of a shit about BLM. They're just doing it either for a paycheck or because that's the only way they're going to pay.
It's probably more. It's probably more simple. It's just like the rest of society. It's done through like peer pressure, but it's a bit closer there because they have a team with a captain. They might all be a member of a lodge or some sort of little society that's related with sports. And it's like it's just a done thing. If the captain says we do it. What you don't want to do it? What, you racist? What, you bigot? What, you don't support the black players in this team because you want to get down on your knees?
Of course.
I would say it probably works. It works like that. It's just the same as in the outer society, but because it's team based, it's all male. There's a hierarchical structure put there in the team itself, let alone any sort of secret society that you might be in. Because at the end of the day, these people are high level sportsmen. They're all getting paid millions. They have sponsorship deals with these high level companies that are owned by the dark occultists, like Adidas and Nike. So it would make sense that they're probably in some sort of lodge or secret society.
I don't think these guys are high level. I don't think they're high level. I don't think their knowledge is that. I think a lot.
No, but you got to remember, just because they're in a lodge, it doesn't mean that they've got any knowledge.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think they're like high level in the degrees of Queef Masonry.
The level of Queef Mason that kneels, he's only like a level 2 or 3.
Yeah, he's a
Queef
bitch. He's a bitch. Yeah.
This is still porch masonry.
Yeah.
Like they don't know anything. Like we
Hence
know
the blindfold.
Yeah. They literally still got a blindfold on. These guys, they instead of a blindfold, they wear a rainbow blindfold.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing.
It's still
Honestly,
a band.
It's as above, so below. This goes all the way down, all the way up. These guys, they don't know they haven't got a fucking clue what they're involved with. Obviously, we're postulating here.
But we like to get it all out on the table.
No, that's what the table's for, to spread the rabbit all over the place.
33 there.
Spread it thin. So Russia were banned from this year's World Cup due to the war, in inverted commas, with Ukraine, apparently. Isn't it convenient that Russia are ranked 33? Really? Yeah, in addition, Russian men's team being barred from the World Cup, the women's team could not play in this summer's Euro 2022 competition, and Spartak Moscow could not compete in the Europa League.
Sorry to butt in. Sam Carnell, some of the admins, can you deal with these sex bots in the chat, please?
Are they back, are they?
Yeah, there's a few of them there kicking around.
They've been away all night. They haven't really been around. Let's have a World Cup butt plug, says Andy Covio. What? What are you going to do with that?
Meme it.
And make a meme. Okay, what else has been going on? It's Black Friday. Or is today Black Friday? Was it last Friday? But you've heard the...
I know what Black Friday is. It's just where consumerism goes mental.
Yeah, but like in America, they have a day where like everyone beats
I've
each
seen
other
it
up
like
at the shop,
for TVs and shit like that. It's just satanic consumerism.
Whereas
gone nuts.
in
in overdrive.
In the UK, they do the same thing with the prices. Like the price is always $4.99 or $49.99 or whatever. But then just at Black Friday, they put it up, but then they drop the price, the regular price. The same thing happens here, but like Here, like Black Friday is like a period that's spread over like 2
Can't they
weeks.
do it on like fuel?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Food.
Don't fuel your energy bill.
Food,
Black
energy.
Friday, and like free energy for
Like cut price petrol, cut price electric, cut price food. Yeah, that would be good.
yeah. No, you fill up your tank for quarter of the price or whatever.
So, anyone in the UK that's watching, have they ever actually been to like a Black Friday event where people are beating each other up to get like?
I've seen videos of it online. I don't know, it's probably in
does
America and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but I'm saying, does it happen in this country, like in London or somewhere? Is there somewhere where they do that, where they have like a certain amount of, say, TVs or something that are stupidly low priced to the point where people are
knocking each other
actually
over.
ready to beat each other up to get them? Because in America, there were people getting stabbed and stuff and like, killed, shot, just to get like these. I think the stuff is so cheap. Like maybe I don't know, maybe 10% or 20% of the full price.
Wow. Again, that's more loose.
Or maybe it's just 20% off. I heard it wrong, but they
33,
were still shooting
33%
each
off.
other. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, Black Friday. I mean, I bought some things online. I don't think they were any cheaper. I think it's bullshit. Another talking point, which we should probably mention, it's all this shit that's going on with Twitter and Elon Musk. The kind of, I mean, I've got to say, we are sort of entering a realm where a lot of the things that the Q people have been talking about are actually starting to happen.
Yeah.
If you notice that.
Well,
So I am obviously going to sit on the sidelines and talk about this as an observer, because we sort of said that was all bullshit quite a long time ago.
Well, again,
the narrative.
It might not all be right. There might be some aspects of it which are correct, but
Yeah,
it's never black and white, is it?
Yeah, but all I'm saying is the people that carried on with it, like what they have been saying recently is going to happen, is now happening. I.e., Elon Musk has successfully bought Twitter. He has reinstated loads of accounts and sacked most of the people that work for Twitter.
Elon Musk's cool, right? He's a cool dude, yeah. He was smoking bud on Joe Rogan's show and stuff. Like he's quite funny to listen to and watch, but at the end of the day, I don't trust the fucker because he wants to wire your head up with some fucking Neuralink.
He's got Enki energy.
Just because he might be doing something that appears to be good.
He's still an overlord, but it's like
Yeah.
he wants to wake people up, but he's obviously still an overlord that wants to sew computer into your brain. But like,
So he might be batting for the other warring faction
for
of
Team Enki
Yeah.
rather than Lil, yeah, I think so. But like,
But he's at the end of the day, he's still an occultist. I mean, fuck me, look at his wife. Have
yeah,
you seen his wife?
I mean,
She looks like a fucking witch.
it looks like he's actually going to get. I think Trump has got his profile back. I think that has actually happened. Can someone correct me if I'm wrong? But I think in the last couple of days,
I saw a thing on social media the other day about one of the Trump
What?
rallies. Had like fucking thousands of people there, like saying, "Oh, for 2024."
Trump
so
is
they're going to
coming back.
actually try and do that again.
yeah, and
Yeah, they're gonna do it again.
Kanye West has announced today or yesterday that
He
he
was
is
gonna run
running
for president.
and he's like, Trump can run with me. We'll run together if he wants.
What, do like a coalition peasantry government?
Imagine that, voting for
Kanye
Donald
West and
Trump
Trump.
and Trump to be president together.
Like we spoke because I love Donald Trump. I think he's fucking brilliant. He's one of my favourite characters in Clown World. However, we've spoke, haven't we, privately? Like possibly one of the reasons he didn't succeed is because he just wasn't powerful enough. He knows what's going on. Do you know what I mean? He openly talked about Hillary and human trafficking and
it's
stuff
more
like
this.
that.
He was put in to set the stage to imagine how many people Donald Trump woke up.
Yeah.
He was literally pointing around going, look at this, look at that. He wasn't he was quoting stuff that Q was saying and not denying it.
Yeah.
He was saying, what? Is it bad to be against satanic paedophiles?
Yeah.
He literally said that.
And Putin
right?
says that as well. He
So,
spoke about like the satanic cult
whatever you
before.
think about Trump, whether he's one of them, whether he's who everyone thought he might be, whether he's all part of the play, the fact is he did what he did. It woke a lot of people up. It started.
It's
a
kind
wrecking
of the
ball.
same as Robo Musk. He appears to be doing some good.
Yeah.
But at the end of Donald Trump, he might not have even been known what he was being used for. He might have genuinely thought he was going to do some good or was doing some good when all the time they got someone, the Soviet Union got someone in there who was so charismatic and so
All I
like,
know is
different and going against the grain.
Whatever is going to happen in this clan realm is going to happen. But for me, if I know that Donald Trump is coming back, that gives me a glimmer of hope. At least it's a glimmer of hope.
Mate, I've got a Make
The-
America Great T-shirt and cap. I'll get that shit on.
Mate, we had a MAGA cap on the fucking
Yeah.
on the thing over there, but just because it was great clown comedy, it was great entertainment, and like if this, you know,
It was a great distraction, wasn't it?
I mean,
Donald
a lot-
Trump was a great distraction from the Soviet Union. However, I remember he did at one of his rallies, I sort of seen the footage of it, he did say, come on guys, take the Britney Spears tour, it's good, or something. So that to me...
yeah. No, I'm not defending him.
No, not at all. I'm
not
not saying he's a dark occult. What I'm saying is, again, he might not even know what he's being used for, but he was used or has been used for a divisional tool because he divided
for
a
sure.
lot of people, didn't he? So that's what I mean. It's another polarity.
Oh yeah,
And same as Kanye West. Look at the shit Kanye West is coming out and saying recently.
have you heard what Jason Arcase's prediction about?
No, go on.
He reckons that in the build up to 2033,
Oh,
which
God.
is exactly
233.
which is exactly 100 years after 1933, when Guess Who rose to power.
Yeah.
There's going to be
Our
a
friend-
rise of the reactionary Christian right in America and across Europe, and it's going to go to war and expose Zionism and Israel, and basically the whole of the ills of everything is going to be blamed on the Who's again, like happens about every 500 years.
2033.
Yeah,
Okay. 11 years time.
yeah.
Well, nearly 10 years time. But we'll see.
I just think it's going to be some great catalyst. If people want to put on a red hat or if people want to put on a blue hat, they can do whatever they want. But I will keep no hats on my head, and I will enjoy that catalyst. I think if that happens again.
God, I love watching Trump, man. He's fun. He's got a great tan as well.
Yeah, we need more warp
Orange
speed.
man bad.
Yeah, people go, oh, what about the? Oh, he had warp speed, but you know we've already postulated that in the greatest apocalypse ever, the Soviet Union was a necessary thing to happen.
Yeah.
Well, if Trump wants warp speed, that means it happens more and it happens faster. That we can get to where we're going faster. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but surely it's better than stretching things out.
I've been told I've lost the plot there.
He said you
Comment up on
he
the
said you
screen.
lost the
Let's
plot.
get that up.
Let me get another drink.
What have we got? 251 people tuned in. Don't forget, guys, I'm man in the emails. If you want to call in, have a chat to us or whatever, you can talk about the Soviet Union. You can moan. You can call us tinfoil hat wearers. Catherine O'Connell, you can ring in and tell me I've lost the plot if you like. Let's have a little shout out. So we got Unruly King. He's saying, fuck Trump, he's a puppet as well. Yeah, he might be a puppet as well, but this is what we've been talking about. Maybe he didn't even, he doesn't even know he's being used as a puppet. Maybe he's just genuinely thought he was trying to do some good at the time. But I'm skeptical because, like I said, I heard him say at a rally, take the Britney Spears tour, it's good. And he got a lot of fucking boos for that from his audience. But, we've got another comment there. We've got Trump Tan. That's Eye for an Eye. Big up yourself, one of our memeticians. Lance is just getting himself a G&T. I won't move on to any more memes, even though I do know what's coming. There's some good ones. Snell's in the chat. Big up, Snell.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Let's address that quickly. Snell, I said to you after Raw Treat we were going to send you something, which I am, mate. I'm really sorry. We've got it here. It's coming up on the screen. Let's get it up.
But the peasant cam up.
The peasant cam. Here we go.
So for anyone that's at Raw Treat, they remember that there was a meme auction.
Right at the end on the Sunday night.
And if you haven't seen it, it's on the channel. I put the video up. There was an epic bit where Auntie Koviet's meme montage was being auctioned by myself, and Snell obviously wanted to take it home, but Andy PG wanted to take it home as well. So
I outbid him for £233.
it got up to £233. Now, in the aftermath of Raw Treat, everything got packed away and stuff, and I actually found this. Here it is. Let me just hold it up.
This is the Auntie Koviet meme montage.
Where's the camera? There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, the anti-Soviet meme montage. Now, even though Andy PG paid £233 for this, we're actually going to roll it up and we're going to send it to Snell because he really, really wanted it. And I just found this in the spare room.
So we're going to ping it over to you, Snell, mate. He sent me his address already.
Yep.
So I've got it. I haven't forgotten, my man.
So, Snell, That one is on its way to you.
Auntie COVID is in the chat as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Is who was our last caller? Empathetic Rebel. You need to email me with your address so I can send you some Christmas cards, because I did say everyone that calls in tonight gets Christmas cards.
You can post it to your local mental health facility. Give them
Yeah.
give them a Christmas card and rise above.
Sorry,
What we got here on the screen, Lance?
I just ate a piece of cheese when I went into the kitchen. It stuck to my mouth.
That's a
Let's
bit
make
that's a bit Pizzagate, mate.
Oh yeah, God. What kind of cheese? Haitian cheese. Right. Okay. So, World War Z.
There we go. Sorry, Snow's just commenting and saying that's awesome. Let's get that up. You're welcome, my man. Thank you for all
No
the hard
problems.
work you and the other stewards did at Raw Street.
It's not forgotten, Snell. You deserve it, mate. You worked very hard at Ratry, along with our other gang of peasant slaves.
And I think you beat anyone on the amount of ganja you
yeah, he definitely won
put away.
the weed smoking competition. He even beat me.
We got a link on the screen from Eye for an Eye for Auntie Koviet's meme collection if you want to go and check it out on Facebook.
Oh, is that her meme page?
Yeah. There's loads on there. Oh, we've got a caller. Oh, Shelley Tasker's on the line.
my Cody.
Let's get her up.
Hello.
Shelley, good evening. You are
Shelley.
live on Rise Above. Please don't say the C or the V word, but you can say fuck.
Good evening.
Good evening, Shelley. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. This is mad. I've been sat here for half an hour thinking, shall I call in? Shall I call in?
Yeah,
I'm glad you
absolutely.
did. Right. For anyone that
I'm
doesn't,
doing it.
for anyone that doesn't know, Shelley, right? When I was famously up against the Soviet Union in court, I wasn't alone. Shelley was actually my co-defendant. We were both arrested together. Yeah, my co-D. You and my co-D up against the
Soviet
co-D.
Union.
The Soviet Union co-D. So yeah, we were both arrested together in Truro, November. Was it in November 11th?
Yeah, I wasn't arrested though, Lance. I was just charged with organising a protest.
Oh right,
and
sorry.
stuff.
It was just me that was
I
arrested.
didn't have the ordeal that you did, no. Sorry to say, but I went through the aftermath with you. So
Yeah, we were still, we were still on bail together for what, 8 months?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was a crazy time.
Yeah, but all's well that
it's-
ends well.
Yeah, well, it's kind of surreal, isn't it? Because I like tuning in and watching you guys, because I stay quite quiet now because you've got to live life. But sometimes I think I need to get mad. I can't get mad anymore.
Mm.
I hate to say I've been watching snippets of I'm a Celebrity just for the reason to psychologically check out Matt Hancock. And he is just, oh my God.
He's a
the
total
manipulation.
psychopath, isn't he?
He's a psychopath, but I can see for those people that are so forgiving and everything, oh, he's lovely. And it wouldn't surprise me if he goes on to fucking win it. And I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that that's going to make me go mad. It's the fact that you can't see what's going on. Well, the other people, so to speak. But
Yeah, I watched it a little bit. I mean, just as a bit of market research,
exactly, yeah.
And the first thing I heard was Hancock, or Matt Daslam, as we call him, complaining about how difficult it was to be in the jungle because he'd been separated from his friends and his family for 6 weeks.
What a bitch.
Right? Oh wow! What about all the people that were separated from their friends and family permanently,
And
they
subsequently never got to see him again.
and they never saw them again? And then what else was he? And then he was telling some story about falling down to his knees and clutching his heart, and it was like, and he made a real point about clutching his heart, and I was like, is this coincidence? I was like, they just put this in the script to take the piss out of us.
No, it's an absolute frickin' joke. But yeah, that's the only thing riling me though at the moment. Well, not the only thing. I'm a bit like the last caller. I mean, she was really interesting, and what a shock if you've only literally woken up in the last couple of years. There's a lot to take in, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's been
I've
dipped
been
in the
awake.
pool at the deep end, isn't it?
Oh, thrown in, absolutely thrown in.
We call it not having the red pill, not having the blue pill, but you're having the black pill if you've woken up recently and it's being forced down your neck. There's no glass of water to take that shit.
I've not
Dry
heard of that,
insertion.
the black pill.
So you imagine in 2020 if people haven't woken up and they don't want it, you wait till 2030.
Well, exactly.
That's
We can
going to
see
be
it
a
all
hell of a
happening so
shock if
fast.
you haven't woken up by then or you don't realise what's going on when they pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah. No, crazy times. I have no predictions. I just think it's quite exciting living in these times Is that sad to say?
No. I'm often very excited when I wake up in the morning, and I think, what's it gonna throw out next? What next bit of catalyst is it gonna serve up for me to interpret, and for hopefully relay to people on a Friday night in a cohesive, reasonable way, because it's clear that previously what we thought were the rules are starting to crumble a little bit. There's a lot more double inversion going on, i.e. they seem to be very obviously presenting what they're doing while it's happening in real time, it seems now, which is something we hadn't really seen before when we've been watching things fold out. Now it's becoming very, very, very obvious. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I don't think we should feel bad about being excited. It's better than being scared.
Yeah, but I almost feel a bit guilty because I'm sat here, the heating's on, top on and stuff like that. I'm not here with dressing gowns on and blankets and stuff like that, but I know people are really fucking struggling, and that's what makes me feel sick. Seeing people at work saying they put the heating on for an hour last night, and I'm like, what? And it's always got to be about the underdogs, isn't it?
I always say to people about the heating when they say, I'm not going to be able to afford the heating this one. Right? Honestly, buy yourself a log burner, install it yourself, and then make friends with a tree surgeon, your local tree surgeon. You get free logs. Because they want to get tipped off the wood and just heat your house that way. That's just one, use it as a catalyst. If they're going to put the energy prices up, then create your own energy.
Definitely. But it's just crazy times. And I haven't, my dad's just come out of prison on Tuesday. You might remember, Lance probably know. He was sentenced to 3 years for hate speech. He was released on Tuesday.
That's
after
really
18
good to hear.
months. Yeah, that is good to hear, but it's still just for speaking your thoughts,
Yeah, it's still 18 months.
Yeah, it's 18 months. I mean, it's gone quickish for us. That sounds awful to say, but surely not for him. But, he's come home, and any music he writes, any videos he makes, he's got to show it to the police before he can release any of it.
Wow.
He's not allowed on radio for 10 years.
And are you able to divulge, like, he was basically just doing a radio show, wasn't he, and speaking his mind about a certain group,
a certain religion
and banking practice, and he got sent to jail for that.
Yes, and he put together a song, a certain hoax, and a choo-choo, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I can't be seen to be promoting anything.
Sure.
But
he must have pissed some people off if he actually did some time.
three years for a radio show, mate.
Yeah,
it's no joke.
I wonder what did he actually get convicted of?
Hate speech.
Yeah, but I mean, what was the actual? Was there one particular thing that he?
I think it was always about the same subject, but it was over 4 different shows, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
he criticised the unspeakable ones.
Right.
Okay. The ultimate hate speech.
Yeah, I gotcha.
In fact, the only hate speech where it would just send you to prison just for talking about it.
Directly 6-pointed star hate speech.
Yeah.
But they're a vulnerable group, And I was thinking about this because there was a documentary about it on Monday night on Channel 4, I think it was. Quite interesting. Obviously, it was one-sided.
Oh, wait a minute. Was that with Badil?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that as well. Oh, my God.
What was it? A whoish?
Badil and Skinner.
I know Skinner,
yeah. Well, the other one, Badil, he's of the priest class.
Right,
and
okay,
he basically made a whole video, a whole, production about how, obviously, woe is me. I'm from the priest class that everyone has been persecuting forever.
Ashkenazi.
Yeah, but it was like, I think the point of it was that we're the people that are always forgotten. And I'm like, you've got a whole fucking historical industry to constantly remind everyone. No one, you don't let anyone forget. It was high level propaganda, hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But I was watching it like
more retardation for the peasantry.
It was beyond. It was beyond. And some of the things they were saying, it was like literal inversion. He was coming out with stuff. I mean, I can't even repeat it.
No, because it just made me realise that they talk about their vulnerable place. Well, actually, all of us so-called truthers, all of us that are awake, we are vulnerable. We're like the minority, aren't we?
We are vulnerable. Like, we're not allowed to own
Yeah.
guns here in the UK. Of course, we're vulnerable.
Nutters. Yeah, we're absolute nutters. But you know, since the pandemic has like so-called disappeared and stuff like that, it's all like kind of back to normal, isn't it? And I just kind of think all these people now. Somebody has put on their Facebook status tonight, I've got COVID for the third time.
What you got to watch the C word there, Shelley.
sorry,
You
sorry.
owe us 10 crypto shekels.
my
First
God.
incursion.
Yeah, you owe us 10 crypto
Sorry.
shekels now.
So does
go in
that
the
mean I
Schwab
don't get my
pot.
free Christmas cards?
I'm taking
That's
one
another
of the
reason I
Christmas
called
cards
in.
out of the pack for that.
When you said any callers get free Christmas cards, I'm like, right.
Shelley, you do us a favour. We'll send you Christmas cards if you put one through your local police station door. The guys who arrested you
Could you put one into Cranbourne police station, please?
directly.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Addressed
with
to the whole
pleasure.
team.
Yeah. Thank you very much from the Rise Above team for setting us up properly, setting us up on the right path.
Oh God. Anyway, I won't hold you guys up anymore. I just wanted to call in and say hi.
No, I'm glad you did. It's good to hear from you. Give me a shout if you want to have a chat on your radio show again. Do you want to give that a quick plug?
Oh yeah. I've now moved over to Speak Free Radio actually, and that is 24/7. Goes out over 3 time zones, and it really is Speak Free Radio. You say what you like. But I'm there on a Wednesday night UK time at 9 o'clock. But yeah, Lance.
So it's the Shelley Tasker show.
Sorry, yeah, the Shelley Tasker show.
Okay.
Wednesdays,
Sam Carno, maybe you
like-
can get a link up in the chat for that.
Yeah. All right, my darling.
All right.
But anyway,
good
nice
to hear
to
from you.
speak to you.
Yeah, send me an
Take
email
care.
with your address so I can send you the Christmas cards, please.
Woohoo, will do.
All right. Take care, Shelley.
Take care, Lance. See you
Take care.
guys.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye. Bye.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise
Shelley
above.
Tasker, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope Homer Beats makes it in the next 14 minutes to play us out. Otherwise, he's going to miss the show. I'm going to finish at 12 o'clock. So, yeah, we got 15 minutes left. This is your last chance to call in and get some of our highly acclaimed... Where are they? These Rise Above Christmas cards. One sec. Let me just find them.
Highly satanic.
Highly Luciferian. Well, they're not Christmas
How
cards.
dare you?
They're Christmas cards. Let me explain them. I'll go through them one by one. On the left is Rise and Shine's Rativity scene.
I'm some kind of midget here in the foreground.
You are some sort of midget. We have the whole team there, obviously looking upon the... How many rabbits are there? 1, 2... I think there's four holy rabbits in the manger. Master Lee's praying upon them. I guess I'm Joe's Rahef. I'm holding the rabbits, and we've got the whole
Homer
team
Beats
there.
is getting involved. He's about to give one a kiss now.
Manic. We've got Terra Slim, Rob, Esoteric Knight of Malta, Magix, Sheep Farm.
JD and Chris, JD and Spitter in the background.
JD and Spitter up there. Spitter's playing a flute. So that's the Rativity scene. The second one is Holidays Ra Coming. This is designed by Johnny Fogg. So we've got myself, Andy PG, in the sleigh. Boris is a pig.
Master
in the
Lee's
sleigh.
got his whip there for Boris.
Yeah. I'm drinking a big festive Coca-Cola. This is what it says inside the Christmas cards. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And the third one is a Christmas bar rule.
This is great.
This is
this
possibly the best one, I think. Just the composition is spectacular. Ross Kieran, he sent me about 20 different versions of it. I don't even think this is the best version. I think there was actually a sausage fingers little character down here I've missed off. But yeah, so if you were to be our last caller, you would probably need to call in roughly about now, and you're going to get one of these Christmas cards. Well, I'll give one of each. I'll give you 3 Christmas cards. Yeah, Johnny Fogg won. It was the competition winner for our T-shirt this evening. Let me see. I think I actually did have some more slides. Let me just go down here. We've had some
Yeah, there was some more.
pretty good memes tonight.
I had a Zelensky one up next, I think.
Okay, so
Here.
right, so yeah, World War Z.
World War Zelensky.
Um,
33rd degree knobhead.
I reckon for many people, a lot of normies at least, it seems to be like waning the interest in the whole thing there, and like there's a lot more people like making memes about the.
Well, there's not. Is it? Obviously, I don't watch the news, but is it still like predominant in the headlines for the peasantry?
Well, it is, but also there was the scandal about the FTX crypto company that
That's right.
embezzled like 6 billion off.
And there's
people.
loads of shit for the people in the United States. There's loads of shit about Hunter Biden and doing dodgy dealings through Ukraine and
Yeah,
cocaine money and all that kind of
I've got a
stuff.
feeling there might be something new on the horizon soon because I think Ukraine might be losing its grip in the mind of the normosphere. So
what's next? Do you reckon? What are they going to pull?
I don't know. I think
We've had a war. We've had a pandemic. What's next?
I think it could be hyperinflation.
Or the food chain. This is all speculation, guys.
Yeah.
We're not fear mongering.
Energy is obviously something that's one of the big themes here, and households must slash their. This is what I was talking about earlier on. Slash their energy use to defeat Putin, says Jeremy Hunt. Cold weather has increased UK's peak demand by 33 PC in 2 weeks. Percentage points, is that? Anyway, there's a 33 in there. What is that? 33 PC?
I don't know.
Percentage points? So, yeah.
Cold weather has increased UK's peak demand by 30. I don't know.
Pence per something. I don't know. Anyway, it's 33, and we need to do it to defeat Putin, peasants. So, yeah, stop using your kettle, whatever that means. Smart meters.
Here we go.
I hate to be the man that said I told you so, but I did. I told everyone about smart meters like roughly 10 years ago. I was when they first pulled them out. I was like, don't. Have
Anything
smart
with the
meters.
word smart is dumb.
Yeah.
Smartphone, smart meter,
It makes you
smart
dumb.
car.
If it is smart, it makes you dumb. That's the bottom line. Everyone knows that now. Everyone that's paying attention knows that. So why shouldn't you have a smart meter? Here's what I said. Literally, was it 10 years? Yeah, 2012. 2012, I was talking about smart meters. I literally said, smart meters will give you cancer through EMF. They pretty much proved that.
Yeah.
And also, it makes everything in your house remote controlled. So you're in
Externally remote controlled.
externally remote controlled. There's a new smart grid installed inside
And
your
we
house.
don't mean you have the remote to that.
Yeah, you don't have the remote. This remote that does not have the capabilities that the big remote has.
So I've heard from a couple of people now, and they've sent me some articles and stuff, that the new smart meters, the proper tech ones, the brand new ones, they can actually detect like structures in your house. Like they could tell if you've got a wardrobe there, they could tell how many people in a room, that kind of thing. They can tell sort of who's where and everything, all your furniture and shit like that.
Well,
so if the COVID unions do another lockdown, then these smart meters can ping out and tell the COVID union how many people are in which room, or if there's too many people in a household, whatever.
I was always told that basically I learned this from King David. I'm not going to lie. Everything I know about smart meters comes from reading King David books, where he was warning about them a long time ago. It was like it would be able to use this mapping by linking into all the appliances in your home. It could actually tell how many people, like you say, are in each room. Mm-hmm. So if something happened in your house, it could be used as evidence in like a courtroom.
Yeah, an AI courtroom.
Yeah. So if you link that with your Alexa, that's always listening, and it's just like you're just installing the COVID union inside your house.
Literally, you're doing it to yourself.
You're doing it to yourself.
And it's all about the consent. These motherfuckers, you have to consent to it.
Now, I answered the phone for my daytime business, for my family's business, and sadly, my mum had one of these smart meters installed in one of the workshops before I started working there. But since then, we have 7 different energy contracts which I have to manage as part of my day job, and they're constantly. I probably get a call roughly once a week. You know how you get the calls trying to sell you, save money on your energy. Well, a lot of the time they're also calling, working on behalf of whoever your provider is to put these smart meters in, and I've been refusing them for years, to a point where I'm literally, you have to have it. I said, no, cut my power off then if I don't have to have it. I'll go elsewhere. I will just choose another supplier.
Just say no.
Just say no. Yeah. But yeah, so new homes with smart meters being plunged into darkness by remote control. Wow, what a surprise. I never could have predicted that.
So again, what if it gets to the point in the COVID union where you're only allowed a certain amount of energy, once you've used it up, they could just turn you off.
Not only that, your energy will actually be able to be sort of like divided up for different sectors. So for instance, if in the future when you move into government housing that's COVID proof and completely smart metered up and all of the appliances,
in the middle of a Schwab city,
yeah, it means that like your energy units will be able to be distributed between heating, lighting, cooking, yeah,
all of it,
appliances,
hot water.
So that it will be something like you'll get energy credits, you'll get entertainment credits, you'll get cooking credits,
yeah,
and they'll actually be able to control what things in your house you'll be able to use. People, used to laugh
Like,
at
look
this.
at China, right? They turn the water on twice a day. You can only have a shower or bath like at certain points of the day. Is that right?
I think it depends
Or is that in
on
certain areas?
a regional lockdown or whatever. But there's nothing sort of like that universal across China, because China's massive. But yeah, in certain cities in China, they all have the capability to do that. And there's those hardcore lockdowns going on right now, which are basically just around the iPhone factories, which people are showing this crazy footage of. Well, it's because the population around those iPhone factories is so dense, and they're all working at the factories, and they're all doing a QR code to get in and out of their buildings and to get into the factory. They get and they probably have to scan something in between their building and the factory to get on the bus and to get the bottle of water. So they're doing 5 or 6 electronic check-ins every day
Constantly.
just on the way to work. And that's how easy that the services can be sequestered, can be shut down, can be limited. They can be rationed. That's how easy.
Yeah, rationed.
And
I've just heard this week on the radio. I was doing some work with my mate the other day, and we had the radio on, and they said that there's now 8 billion people on the planet. And they said it's going to be 15 years till there's 9 billion. I wonder what the number is. Oh, we've got a caller. Oh, we've got Clara, my mate Clara, a long-term friend of mine.
Clara will be our last caller tonight. Welcome back, Clara.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, we're all good. How's it
I'm a
going?
bit late, aren't I? I was just having to quick download the app to ring in. I'm like, hurry up and download.
Oh,
Got
you
really
could have
bad
messaged
signal
me for my
problem.
phone number. I would have given you my phone number.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I should have done that.
Not to
But
worry.
I'm
Lance's phone is
smart
wired
people.
directly into the Queefmaster Pro.
Yeah, wow. Well, I wanted to ring and talk about fear. But while you're on the smart meter talk as well, I basically live in it was a council house. It's not a council house anymore. It's now a housing association.
Right.
And when I first moved in, obviously it already had meters in. They were the rules. The meters had to be there. You're not allowed to take the meters out. We're not allowed to have a gas cooker. Like those rules. Like basically, if we take these meters out, they can actually get you to move out of the house, like take the house off you, which was pretty extreme. Well, basically what I did is I got an engineer to fiddle with mine, and it's not worked properly for about 3 years now. Basically, you see how people are getting these free energy discounts, and basically they're getting automatically topped up on these smart meters. So some people are like getting like a £60 here, a £60 there, Joe, rather than them getting sent checks and things like that.
So they
Well,
basically
they
can't spend their money on
What
what
you
they're not
basically get- yeah.
deemed allowed to spend it on.
So what? That's already happening.
Yeah.
You're basically getting your energy credits.
No, not me.
But that's happening to other
Basically,
people. They're
they
getting
can't
energy
top
credits
me up.
rationed to the smart meter.
Yeah, that's exactly. Everyone on my street, basically, I can remember them all out in the morning. Oh, I've had my meters topped up £70. I've jumped over the fence like, I ain't. Do you know what I mean? I ain't had £70 put on mine. And then I realised, obviously, what had happened. Basically, mine don't work like a smart meter anymore. So, Joe, you're supposed to be able to top up on your phone from anywhere and it goes straight onto your meter. Mine don't do that. You see that special little thing you've just been shown where it shows you what you're using and all of that? Mine don't connect up to that or do that. So they can't even get a meter reading from mine. So mine doesn't actually perform like a smart meter. It actually performs like, remember the old-fashioned ones you used to get and you used to plug a little key in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I basically have to go and type everything in, like number for number and manually top it up. So they have to basically, they keep trying to send me these checks, but I was like, you don't get nothing for free. And then because I've not been accepting the checks, I think they've been going on to like my council tax. There's like quite a lot of money sat there. And I'm like, I ain't even taking it. Don't want it. You never get nothing for free. There's always...
if it's for free, then you're the product.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think about it. So I'm grateful because mine's not working the way it should. So mine's not being monitored. They can't even check in to see where it's at. Because like they can do automatic meter readings and stuff now. Like remember how back in the day someone would knock on your door?
Yeah. Come and take your meter reading.
Yeah, so there are ways for anyone who's in a situation where you could park, because obviously we get our house serviced every year as well, so someone will come out and do work on your boilers and stuff like that, and sometimes your meters as well, which I find really weird. But fortunately for me, one of these guys that was actually the one who sorted mine out for me and did that. So they don't really know that mine's working like that. So if anyone's having issues, they're in a situation where they can't actually remove them, it is possible to have them fucked up a little bit where they don't work properly. So you can't sort of be monitored. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, guys, get in touch with Clara if you need some services there. She can point you in the right direction.
Going back to the lady who called up today, and it sounded absolutely traumatizing for what she'd been through. Fear, the word fear. Like, I went to Ashley Tyson's farm a couple of weeks ago with the Primal Tribe and did like a family meetup. And we basically did a ceremony. Before we did this fire ceremony, we basically all we all picked, everyone come up with the same thing and fear come up. So we had this coach sort of like asking us questions. I'm going to ask you all, like, what does fear mean to you? What do you feel when you feel fear?
Anxiety.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyone else in the comments as well? Like, get involved. Like, there's so many, like, are there things you fear?
Everyone fears something. When people say they don't, I'm not afraid of anything, that's bullshit, man. Everyone's afraid of something.
When you start breaking it down of, what fear actually feels like, it actually puts you in a mindset of, wait a minute, let me think about that. Like, all the different thoughts.
It's a state of shock. It's a form of shock.
Yeah, like anxiety. What does anxiety feel like? It feels different for everyone. Like, but what does excitement feel like?
It actually feels very similar to anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we choose, like how people say fear mongering and things like this and pushing fear. Like, it's only us solely on ourselves. We actually choose to put them fears upon ourselves. No one else does. No one else actually puts them upon us. We choose those fears ourselves. And it's like when you think about the actual feeling of fear, anxiety, happiness, they're all pretty similar. So like a way of turning things like fear around when you actually think about things like that. Like, there's so many things people can come up to when you say, what is fear? What does it mean to you? And when you really beat it down and put it down like that, you do it as you sat there thinking, well, what the fuck? That is true. Only we choose those feelings to feel that fear. We put those fears there in our mind ourselves and choose them to be a fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
And when you look at all the other emotions, stress, shock, terror, all of that, all those. And then when you break them all down, even with excitement, like I know what I'm like when I get excited. I'm like a big overexcited kid, you know what I mean? But the feelings I get with inside are almost like the exact same adrenalines as what comes with fear. It is completely the same.
Yeah.
Like loss of control. Like, I've just seen another comment there. Like, no one can force fear upon us. Only we choose to take on that fear. So when you can learn to train your mind to understand it properly like that, you can literally eradicate the fear.
You can master it.
These are wise words, Clara, from you.
Yeah,
well done.
I know this to be true, and this echoes some of the conversations I've had with Master Lee about the zone of optimal performance that we've talked about before. That any sort of sportsman or musicians might know that what we talk about when, that when you go into that matrix time and you're doing the best you can. And you're almost stepping out of yourself, and then you can sort of come back into it, because then you can be aware that, I'm right on the edge of my capabilities here. And that kind of nervous excitement / fear can actually be harnessed, because it's an energy that's being produced.
And it's all about the frequency of which you let that energy go to.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can feel like, or for me, it can feel very much on like a knife edge. And this energy is dancing on the knife edge. and it can fall one way, and that means it could be pumped into creative passion, or it could be the other way, and it could be pumped into anxiety and discomfort and unease. Maybe is one way to put it. And this is always on a knife edge. And I think what you've said there is a brilliant point, and it's a really good way to finish off the show tonight, because this is what comes down to the fight or flight moment and things like that.
233 people
fight
tuned
or
in.
flight, that
currently.
is exactly it. Yeah.
I think though you have to be able to do that, to be able to convert the fear into a positive frequency. I think you have to be very self-aware, very comfortable in yourself, very knowledgeable about who you are to do that, because
Of course, it takes the inside work. It's the inside work. It's the working on yourself. Like, a lot of us are so focused on the greatest fucking apocalypse ever, and the fears that come with it. It's like every time I've rang this show, it's been pretty traumatic, Everything in my life was pretty traumatic. Now, after doing this therapy session, I was around all these wives and women, mothers. They were all mothers. But the hardest part was when we all started, because then we started speaking about affairs, and everyone spoke, and it boiled down to passion. I was bawling my eyes out. Every time someone else had something tragic to say, I was just crying like, oh, fucking hell, like, this is so fucking deep. But it's like, since I did this, and then I actually wrote a list of things down that are with intent. When Master Lee always speaks about things, we're doing things with intent. Like, and I did a fire ceremony after, and there was so much I needed to let go. I had so many fears. Like, every time I've rang up, it's always been about fears. I'm scared of what they will do to me. I'm scared of what they will do to my son. Like, look what happened to me at the start of this year with the hospital situation, and finally getting Leo fully out the system. Obviously, Angel sort of is. Since doing this, it has completely transformed my life. Like, I haven't really got any fears anymore. This whole apocalypse thing, I don't fear any of it anymore. I'm so confident with the future. And I know things look dark and gloomy, but I literally do not fear any of that anymore. Like, things are so positive. I had a lot of negativity with the decisions and stuff I've made throughout this whole movement. Like, people are always going to make judgments and assume things, or assume you're doing something wrong because you're not doing things the same way others sort of are. And, ever since doing this as well, every time something negative comes at me, boom, straight away, within seconds, something positive straight away. It's perfectly balanced.
That's awesome to hear, honestly.
Sounds great.
I wish my life was that balanced.
Like, to get myself of that place, like, I've never felt more confident. Like, I've never actually felt this powerful. And like we say, things are really heating up, but the only thing we can all do is the work on ourselves. It's not just about having a cupboard full of food and having this and having that. It's preparing yourself and having a plan, and like, finding the right people around you, like a connection, a tribe, like how we are one big family at Rise Above. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone needs some sort of plan to be able to give them that stability, that feeling of, shit's going to be okay, because me, you, and you, we're going to be fine, because we're doing this together and we're working on it now. Like, there's still so many people trying to wake people up and trying to save everyone else, but they're forgetting about saving themselves.
Absolutely. And this is what we need to remember, is that there's no point in going around and waking everybody else up. And I'm a big what's the word? I'm a big victim of this myself. I spend a lot of time doing this when I should probably be spending more time getting prepared myself, and doing all the things that I'm telling everybody else to do. And we all need to do that, because when the shit hits the fan, the first person you need to look after is yourself before you can look after anybody else. You can't look after anyone else if you haven't looked after yourself properly.
And that doesn't
That's
just mean being, like you said, stored up and have a cupboard full of food. That's mentally prepared, physically prepared. If people, you know, if shit does really go bad, I
in
mean,
these pantries, most of the stuff people are packing in these pantries are toxic. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to go back to our roots. We need to unlearn everything we've learned. Like, now when I go, I'm on a strictly carnivore diet now.
I've seen your posts.
You've probably seen all
You're
my
eating a
photos
lot of
of
meat.
me on social media. I'm on a carnivore diet at the minute, and it's going absolutely great, but I'm very particular, and I know it's hard times, and this is why we need to build our connections. You know, when shit hits the fan, where are you going to get your meat from? Where are you going to get your milk from? Where are you going to get your eggs from? Like, these are the kind of communities that need building. Like, I've actually just chose a role today, and I had to do a video. I felt like I was applying for a Big Brother show. It was a bit daunting, I'm not going to lie. But I'm basically chose a couple of options. But what I've chose to do is I actually want to go and learn about farming properly, the whole meat process down to everything. And I know it's going to take a lot, but the opportunity is there for me to take it. So, yeah, I'm going to be Clara.
If it's presented
Farmer
itself,
soon,
that
because-
means it's presented itself for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
There
I
are
used to
no
always
coincidences
say, I
in
want
the
to marry
realm.
a farmer. That was my, I used to always say to Angel, I want to marry a farmer. I need a farmer husband. I need a farmer with a big farm, and I need to live this lifestyle. And I'm like, if that's what you want, then go and do it for yourself.
Everyone will wish
That's
they've
what I wanna-
married a farmer soon.
Yeah. And like the difference, like what we're working on as well, and myself, like, because, you know, I am a single mother, I suppose. I did become pretty masculine through the experiences and stuff that I had through life, and how tough I had to be, and learning about true femininity and understanding myself. And this is one of the biggest issues we've got in the populations today. That is being tarnished. It is so difficult for men in this day and age, and we really need to start working on these issues. We really do need to start working on them, because it's getting worse and worse. And this is a huge problem. And this is how people are not fully understanding their self and their potential and their true purpose, because society's made us believe we're supposed to be a different kind of way, you know. And this is a big issue as well with what a lot of people are struggling with, but they don't realise that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just absolutely bonkers,
Time
but
to
it
take
is
it
all
back to
just so
basics, like you
interesting.
said.
That's it, back to basics, going back to our roots. We need to re-educate ourselves on everything, you know, even food and stuff. It's all right packing a pantry and stuff like that, but what if you do need to pack your shit and leave? The whole pantry's not coming with you, is it?
No.
You know, like, and these are the kind of connections, like Andy said, with a log stove, and I know a tree surgeon, and I can get logs whenever I want. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was such great advice. Things like that are such great advice, and these are the connections we need to be building. Like the connections you built with Chloe, I can't wait to go and see her again. Angel will not stop asking about her and wanting to go down. Like, you know, how these connections have come together since the raw treat experience, and these need to continue. Just because we're not all still down there now, like, these connections need to carry on building, and people coming together, like any skills anyone have got, like, this is where people really need to start building those, so we can eradicate those fears that are stopping us from achieving these things.
No, absolutely. I think this is a really powerful thing that everyone needs to hear right now.
It's a great finish to the show.
It is a great finish to the show, and you know, and I hope, I think since Raw Treat, a lot of people have been energised. I've certainly seen that you haven't stopped. So Clara, thank you very much for calling in. We're going to wrap it up there.
You're welcome.
We've gone a little bit over the midnight, but that was a great way to finish it off.
Everyone look into the fear thing and work on that yourselves as well, because all of us, you know, we all do have certain fears and things, and when you take it right back down and strip it all to the bare minimum, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
That's it.
It's not worth
Extinguish fear when we generate love. Rise above.
That's the one. Rise above.
All right, Clara, take care. Speak to you
Take
soon.
care.
Right, guys, don't forget, we will be taking a break next week, but the week after that, on Friday, the 9th of December, we return with Jason Brashears of Archaics or Rawchaics.
A lot of people talking about this show.
Yeah, this is what's going down. It's going to be seriously good. It's going to be super good. I'm going to be absolutely binging. I'm going to see every single video that Jason has made in the preparation for this absolute rabbit hole we're going to enter. I cannot wait. Guys, we'll see you then. There might be something in between then, maybe a midweek or a black market. We'll see. Maybe next week. But don't hold my breath on that. Right, Rise Above. See you guys next time.